Good evening and welcome to Memorial Stadium at Cascade High School as the 2-5 Cascade Cadets get set to battle the 12th ranked team in Class 2A, the Monrovia Bulldogs, who are 5-2. Along with Jan Bozer, I'm John Herrick. Thank you so much for joining us on the ISC Sports Network, our pregame show brought to you by Endeavor Communications. Tonight's broadcast also brought to you in part by Hendricks Regional Health. Joint pain? Schedule a sports medicine appointment at hendricks.org/ortho. And by Defining Looks Wig Hair and Nail Salon. Find them at defininglooks.com. Monrovia won the toss. They will receive and get the ball first. So after this kickoff here from Cascade, which will be done by Braden Potters, the senior, and it's high end over end, leading to a touchback. So let's start with the home team first here, Jan. All 5 of their losses have been blowout losses by an average of 36 points per game. How do they get back to being more competitive tonight?
Well, first and foremost, they got to spend some time on the field. You know, a lot of people like to diagnose games, say, well, it's a defense. Well, it's a team game, and yes, the defense is part of it. But let me tell you, their offense has to stay on the field tonight. They've been decimated with injuries, and at this time of the year, so many teams have, and this is where your depth comes in. So this is a rivalry game. Doesn't matter who's playing, who's not. You got to put everything and play your best game today.
Monrovia 5-2. We'll get your thoughts on them in just a moment after this play. Their offensive line made up of Jet Massey, Cole Petty, Adam Bales, Adam Mamedov, and Carson Merritt. Quarterback is Eli Wagner, who takes the snap and hands it off on an end around. And getting not very much on that play is Alex Skoris, bringing up second down and long.
John, we're going to see both ball clubs really emphasize run tonight. Both teams, that's their bread and butter. That's what they're going to do. You'll see very little passing except on just crucial times when they need so. So this is really going to be a game about offensive and defensive line.
Well, Monrovia averages 31 points a game, and they only scored 12 in their loss to Lutheran last week. As Wagner goes under center for what is their belly offense, and he loses the ball, picks it back up on second and long, able to get some positive things out of that to the 21-yard line, but it's still going to be third down and long. So how do they kind of get that explosive offense they're used to having back on the right side of things tonight?
Well, I think what you have to do, really both ball clubs have to do, this is a very emotional game. It's a rivalry game. And both teams know that it's a game that they can win, so you take it a step at a time here. And if you're the home team in Cascade, get on the board early. Get on the board early, get their crowd into it. And Monrovia, they have the ball first. What you'd love to do is eat a lot of clock, put a lot of field position time, and get the score.
And Wagner with the handoff. That is to Monrovia's running back there, Dustin Kostraszewski, a junior who's 5'11", 165 pounds. Getting it to the 29-yard line. That sets up fourth down and short, and already it looks like Monrovia is keeping the offense on the field. What a big play in the game already. On fourth down and short, Wagner, well, some guys on Cascade might have jumped, but they got back. And Wagner the snap, handoff. Kostraszewski, he's got it. Big call early in the game on fourth and short. Monrovia goes for it, and they get it.
Well, they've got some pretty good size at the tackle position, and their offense is really predicated around tackles. The left and right tackle are so key to their offense here because you're going to see a lot of what they'll call belly right, belly left, or dive left, dive right. And so those are just right over the top of both those tackles.
Running backs are Todd Kamek, Braden Belcher, Dustin Kostraszewski, Gavin Followell's a wide receiver. Corbin Burns is the tight end. Cascade's defense on the defensive line, Hunter Coates, Walker Van Ness, Brody Mefford, and Wyatt Noren. Linebackers are Deegan Shearer, Chasen Vogt. Here we are on 1st and 10, and the handoff again does not get very much, and this time for Monrovia, it is Braden Belcher. So they're going to go with a lot of different backs here in this belly offense. And he picks up a couple, second down and 8.
Well, your backs take a lot of beating, and we're in game 8 now, and your backs, really, if you can have backs by committee, it's a lot better in the belly or the wing T type offense because your backs do take a lot of hits. So look for a lot of people running the football really on both sides of the field.
Also on defense, Jackson Mantooth at linebacker, Braden Potters as well. The men in the secondary, Chad Nugent, Devin Weigel, and Leon Farmer. And handoff to Kostraszewski again, who runs left and doesn't get much to the 34. And Makes it 3rd down and long, and that man you just saw right there for Cascade, who's running off the field, who made a nice tackle, is Wyatt Norrin, a sophomore.
Yeah, Cascade's defense have been impressive here early. They know what they have to do is really the front line has got to hold their position, fill the holes, and then the key is for linebackers to fill quickly.
Head coach for Monrovia, Andy Olson, 7-10 in his 2nd year at the program. Connor Simmons, the head coach at Cascade, he is 5-13 in his 2nd year with the Cadets. Wagner, the snap, handoff, Kostraszewski coming left. And to the 39 he goes. Couple of guys there on the stop for Cascade.
We'll be breaking down this belly offense as this game progresses here, John. And so really what you want, what your ideal play is, you want 3.5 to 4 yards every play off the belly. And if you can do that, it's hard to stop. So it's a key for the defense on Cascade is at least one of those downs, get a good stop.
4th and 2, and this appears to be a theme we might be seeing a lot of tonight. Pitch left, Kostraszewski got the 1st down, still going, and back on the field after having to be out for a play was Wyatt Norrin. He comes back on the field to make the tackle, but not before Monrovia picks up their 2nd 4th down conversion on this drive.
And this is part of the belly. A belly is a setup for the next play, So they went dive, 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 and they try to get the linebackers to cram inside on those belly or dive plays, and then once they see that, then they'll call an edge or get on to the edge outside play.
Cascade, the team in black on your screen, Monrovia in white. Cascade beat Monrovia 6-0 in the sectional round of the playoffs last year. There's another belly play that you talked about, Jan. Braden Belcher gets into Cascade territory to the 47-yard line, picking up a few, makes it 2nd and 6.
And our cameras were there last year, I believe, in an absolutely torrential downpour game, if my memory serves me right. It was a lot of fun. It was a game where it was really hard to get field position because it was so rainy, and I think one play was the difference in that one, and Cascade comes out the winner. I think Cascade's won 3 out of the last 4, 2 out of the last 4?
That's 3 out of the last 4. Monrovia, though, in the last 35 years has won 26 of the 41 meetings. Wagner, pitch out right on that. Catch made by Gavin Followell. Followell down the sideline, and Followell, he is in.
Yep.
Followell stayed in bounds the whole way. What a play on the outside. So they go run, run, run all throughout the drive and then hit Followell with a big pass.
Well, actually, I'm going to call this a run, if you will, too. It's a quick pass out to the right, technically. But what they're trying to do is just get the ball in the outside, do it quick, and then it's really then a run from there on out. So all these plays were set up, very orchestrated, very nicely from the offensive coordinator to set up the next play, to set up the next play, to set up the next play. So Monrovia gets on the board. And that's what you want to do when you're on the road in a rivalry-type ball game.
Cascade snap is low and bobbled, and that means it's blocked.
Yep.
So for Monrovia, they had Emery Newland, the freshman kicker. He never had a shot at that because the snap was not good. But Monrovia does get on the board first. They lead 6-0 with 6:47 to play in the first quarter.
Yeah, just not a great snap, but the handler could not really get it in his hands, and you don't have much time if you can't get your hands on that ball and get it set up, and it was blocked. So we'll see how that comes out in the big picture when it's all said and done. Just 6 points, no PAT here.
That's 11-play, 80-yard scoring drive, 5 minutes and 13 seconds off the clock. And Monrovia on the board with a 47-yard touchdown strike from Gavin Followell from Eli Wagner. Go ahead, Jan.
No, I'm just going to say that makes you really feel good if you're the coach of Monrovia, because what you want to do always, and I like getting the ball first. I really do. A lot of people defer, and I get there's good reasons to do that. But when I approach a game, man, give me the ball. I want to get my offense going. I want to get a long drive. And if you can do it exactly as Monrovia did, put a drive together and then get 6 onto it, that's a lot of momentum. That's a lot of time off the clock. That's everything you want to accomplish on the road.
So Emery Newland will be kicking off from the 40-yard line. Cascade's got a couple of guys back, but they're actually in front of the 10-yard line. Newland's kick angling toward the sideline, and that rolls out of play for an illegal procedure penalty, bringing up our first penalty of the night, and that will give Cascade really good field position from their own 35-yard line.
That's going to be important now for Cascade to get engaged here early. And that's what happens when, when the opposing team puts some points on the board early here, is they want to really kind of answer the bell, if you will, offensively. I think we're going to kick this one again. Yep.
They are. So Cascade electing to have them re-kick it. It's because, they called a false start. I guess it happened before the kickoff.
Well, you can tell how much clock was it. 6:47 left on this clock. You can see how much time Monrovia ate off that clock.
Yep, just about half the quarter.
Sure, it was half the quarter.
Cascade's offense will be led by Hunter Coates, Brody Mefford, Walker Ness, Jacob Potts, Deegan Shearer on the offensive line, Logan Gibbs the tight end. Here's the squib kick by Emery Newland, bobbles, and it's picked up at the 31-yard line. Running back the other way, down the sideline he goes.
How about that?
And he scores a touchdown for
sir.
Cascade. Unbelievable. Jackson Mantooth picks up the bouncing squib kick. That was going to be a possible win-win for Cascade either way. Either they're getting it at the 35, but instead they get a touchdown out of this.
That's the way to answer the bell. Great return. Got some blocking downfield. He read his blockers perfectly, and Cascade does exactly what you want to do after you're scored on, is get it and go. You don't have to worry about your offense when you can return one like that. Really well executed, John.
Jackson Mantooth, a 69-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Braden Potters with the extra point attempt, and that is no good.
Wow.
Wide left. Now, I think the referee might be saying they didn't have everything set up correct, or maybe they didn't have the play clock winding. I'm not sure what the issue is, but the referee's saying, hold on, something's not right here. So they're going to redo this point after attempt.
Well, whatever it was is going to give Cascade a second opportunity to.
Okay.
I don't think everybody was set.
Yeah, that everybody wasn't set, I guess. Ref.
Well, whatever it is, it favors Cascade in the decision process.
Gives them another shot at this.
Absolutely. This, just like that, you're down 6. You could go ahead 1 in a matter of seconds.
Braden Potter's another try. This one blocked.
It's blocked too.
So 2 extra point issues for both teams tonight as they get blocked early on. So let's get the starting lineups for you. Well, let's take one more look at this replay here.
High snap. Boy, and Monrovia really got in there in a hurry. The snap wasn't that bad, but it was a little bit high.
Rest of the Cascade offense, who you will see. Braden Potters at wide receiver. The running backs, Jackson Mantooth, who has 3 rushing touchdowns. Now that kickoff return. Liam Farmer and Wyatt Noren, the other running backs, and Devin Weigel, 6'4", 195-pound junior quarterback for Cascade. For Monrovia's defense, on their defensive line, it is Hunter Leeds, Adam Bales, Cole Petty, and Jet Massey. Their linebackers are Nick Arnold, Lennox Kachik, and in the secondary, it is Alex Skortis, Gavin Followell, Hunter Baker, Trenton Hale, and Dustin Kostrasuski. Kostrasuski going to watch for him because he has 3 interceptions on the season. Deflections.
Week and they're lost, so they have put some points together in the last game against Speedway. So now again, some good points. We'll see if they can build off that.
The kickoff from Potters. This is a short one. That goes. And this is returnable. How about this? Could we have another return for a touchdown? Almost. He was tripped up. Gavin Followell got upended, but not before he had an outstanding return. The referee spotting him at the Cascade 46-yard line.
Well, both teams really exercising special teams to perfection here. And certainly as we go into the playoffs, special teams could be huge.
So Gavin Followell, how about him? Already with a touchdown reception in this game. And then a huge return there of 51 yards, setting up Monrovia at the Cascade 46-yard line.
But the last thing you want to do is give a ground-burning type offense great field position. And so Monrovia is really going to start off in great field position. You really want to make teams that really focus, like the belly, the wing, and all those, to really earn every single yard. So right now Monrovia is going to start off in great field position.
Kostraszewski in the game. Wagner going under center. Wagner. Pressure coming. Wagner down the sideline. Has a man. Kostraszewski, big catch to the 22-yard line of Cascade. Gain of 24 to first down.
Yeah, and this is just great patience by Monrovia, the quarterback, just waiting till he could find some separation. His receiver, you're going to see it here. He waits. Now watch. He waits again till his receiver can get some separation and really lays it nicely. So many times quarterbacks feel like they just have to throw a bullet. That was absolutely perfect pass because it was just a touch pass right between the two defenders.
Logan Gibbs and Devin Weigel on the stop, but Gibbs got burned in coverage. Wagner fakes and keeps. Inside the 20. Wagner run out of bounds. But he's close to a first down. Gibbs came over and tackled him. And they are spotting it at the 13. That is a gain of 9, second down and 1.
You know, the other good news here for Monrovia, John, is the fact he's just a junior. So it takes a long time to learn these offenses in this modern era of football that we're in. And when you can start the next season with a guy who's got tons of experience, that's huge.
Wagner ends up handing this off this time to Skadoris. And Skadoris has the first down. He's knocked down at the 9. That's a gain of 4, but still enough for a first down for Monrovia.
Yeah, this was second man through, and you'll see this a lot in the belly offense. What you try to do is dive, and then you'll fake the dive and in hopes that a lot of people will buy your fake, and then you get to the second man through, and he can get some good yardage. So once again, just another element of this belly offense.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Endeavor Communications. They offer a variety of internet speeds that fits your family or business needs. Surf the internet faster than ever before with internet speeds up to a gig. At weendeavor.com, you can contact them there for more information. New set of downs. First and goal for Monrovia. Wagner keeps it, and he's close to the end zone, but down at the 3 for a gain of 6. Guy who got there, Hunter Coates for Cascade. Second and goal.
Yeah, you know, they've got him listed at 5'10", 190, and he runs really strong. So that's another big element of the belly. When you can have a quarterback who's strong and big, and can, you know, get some yardage as a quarterback.
4:30 left in what's been a fast-moving first quarter. But this Cascade defense has been on the field for a long time. They did get a kickoff return for a touchdown, but Monrovia has been on the field a lot offensively. Wagner sends Skadoris in motion,
touchdown.
And he's in.
Yep.
Touchdown for Monrovia. And this time for the Bulldogs, it is Braden Belcher who gets in for the score. From 3 yards out, and it's 12-6 Bulldogs.
Wow, and Monrovia's really came out on fire here in this first half. But that's all set up with great field position. Cascade cannot allow them to start drives that deep. They've got to make them being Monrovia, earn every yard in this ball game.
Both these teams clearly like to go for it. We'll see a lot of...
well, they both missed their extra points, so now you start chasing points if you're not careful here.
They're going to go for 2. Wagner, handoff, and he's in for the 2-point conversion is Braden Belcher. So he gets the 3-yard touchdown and the 2-point conversion attempt. Monrovia 14, Cascade 6, 4:02 left in the first quarter. Back in a moment on the ISC Sports Network.
High school football fans, welcome back to Friday nights, to pure spirits, to pure sports. Welcome back to high school football.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back!
This is Friday night. This is Indiana high school football. This is your IHSAA.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Monrovia has had the ball twice on offense. They have scored both times, and they lead it 14-6 with 4:02 to play in the first quarter. Along with Jan Bozer, I'm John Herrick. Thanks for joining us on the ISC Sports Network. Emory Newland kicking off for Monrovia. It is a short kick that is fielded at the 31-yard line by Mantooth. Mantooth has already returned 1 touchdown tonight, and he blasts ahead to the 42-yard line of Monrovia.
I'm guessing both these ball clubs might spend a little time at halftime trying to figure out how to stop each other's special teams play. Boy, another good return now, this time by Cascade. Take a look. Well, they clearly have found something down that middle, John, because it's 2 times he's got pretty good blocking right up the middle, so they'll get great field position.
Hunter Baker had to come over to tackle him. 1st and 10 for Cascade from the Monrovia 42-yard line. Jackson Mantooth had a 69-yard kickoff return for a touchdown earlier in the game. And now this is the first time the Cascade offense has been on the field. Devin Weigel, hand off.
Forget
the middle. There goes Liam Farmer. Farmer's off to the races. Liam Farmer, nobody touches him. Touchdown, Cascade.
Boy, the junior, man, did he hit that hole, John. Wow. He was like a rocket coming out of that backfield, and nobody touched him. He's off to the races.
That's a 42-yard touchdown run from Liam Farmer.
Look at this. Nobody touched him. Great hole. Great job by the center and the right guard for Cascade. The center, Walker, first name is Walker. He's a really good center. You can see his last name a little dark in here, John.
It is a little dark out there too. So Cascade is electing not to chase points. They got to get that 11th man out on the field. They do. Potter's going to try the extra point. His last one was blocked. This one also blocked.
Wow. Well, the one thing I've noticed about Cascade, where they line up to kick their extra point, is awful close to the center. So immediately, if you don't get clean snap, clean hold, clean kick, you just don't have much time. That's not bad at all. I mean, he just got that trajectory really low. And that's another thing. If you don't get it off quick enough because of that, how close you are to the defensive line, the trajectory, some of those big guys, the big paws, can knock that thing down.
Corbin Burns from Monrovia has gotten a free release every time. He's been right in there. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Hendricks Regional Health. Whether it's a preventive health checkup, a needed procedure, a screening, or lab work, you can always count on Hendricks Regional Health for safe, exceptional care. Find your care at thisishendricks.org. One play, 8 seconds, 42-yard touchdown run, but the extra point attempt blocked, and Monrovia leads it 14-12, and we still have 3 minutes and 46 seconds to play in what has been an exciting first quarter from Cascade.
The center I was talking about, John's number 55, Walker Van Ness, is who I was referring to. Coaches are really high on him, and he runs that front line, does the calls, and that time he absolutely blew his guy off the line to create that big hole for Cascade.
Potters to kick off from the 40. It's high. It's end over end. And it is fielded at the 5 by Truman Todd. And Todd knocked down at the 25-yard line for a 20-yard return. So maybe things are starting to finally settle down a little bit.
Well, what you have to do on
teams-wise.
Yeah, what you have to do on special teams is they tell everybody stay in their lane, because if somebody gets diverted out of their lane, that's all an avenue at times a runner would need. So Cascade does a much better job on the special teams of staying in their lane, and then what you want to do so you see the ball carrier is everybody collapse.
First and 10 for Monrovia from their own 26. Wagner's got Kostraszewski as well as Belcher behind him. And Wagner takes the snap and doesn't get very much, out to about the 28-yard line after he handed it off to Belcher.
Yeah, that was a good stop up the middle. I think one of the tacklers out there for Cascade was number 68.
Deegan Shearer.
Yeah, sure. I like him. I couldn't find his name.
Second down and 8 after that run. This Monrovia offense last year averaged 14 points a game offensively. 2 years ago, they were 0-10, and now here they are 5-2, ranked 12th in 2A. This game and one more left in the regular season. Wagner pitches it left, Kostraszewski. And he is rung down shy of the 30. Looked like he might have some room to skate free, but he was tackled immediately by Braden Potters and Wyatt Noren.
Yeah, great pursuit really by Cascade defense. Defense is so much about pursuit angles. You can see there in your replay where 3, 4, 5 guys were all in pursuit of the ball carrier. And when you're a defensive coordinator, that's what you want to see on film is 3 and 4 and 5 guys in great angles pursuing the ball carrier.
Third down and 7. Monrovia has also gone for it twice on fourth down in this game and has converted it both times. So if they don't pick this up, might see them go for it anyway. Wagner, handoff, Kostraszewski again. Kostraszewski getting free. He's at the 40s at midfield. Kostraszewski, what a run by him, and he's tripped up from behind. Finally by Jackson Mantooth. So on 3rd and 7, they need a big run, and they get it.
Well, they just get great initial block and then downfield block. A great block right there by Jet Macy. One of the linemen downfield. You got to love that when the big guys get down and lead the parade.
That's a 41-yard run by Kostraszewski.
Well, he's already got some big yardage, and we're only in the first period.
He's also got 8 rushing touchdowns on the season. He's approaching the 700-yard rushing mark. First and 10 for Wagner.
Oh,
Wagner fires deep.
Wide open.
Caught for the touchdown.
Yeah.
And yet again, there is Gavin Followell.
Yeah, that's just all set up. And you and I were talking beforehand, the Belly offense is not so much about quantity of passing, but at quality, because it just, the passes are really set up, and the most of them are play action here. Not much play action here, just basically a drop back, and see, the defender never sees the ball. So he runs a good route. The ball was placed perfectly. And so Monrovia really putting some points on the board here early in quantities.
He beat Chad Nugent for that score, 31-yard touchdown pass. This is a big 2-point conversion attempt to make it a 2-possession game if they can convert it.
Well, up until Monrovia played Lutheran, they put on 38, 28, and 42 points. So they've been putting on big points. But let me tell you something, not very many people are putting points on Lutheran this year.
And Belcher gets in for the 2-point conversion attempt. So Monrovia leads it 22-12. And Belcher he's so quick after he gets the ball.
Yeah, and all you need to make is 3 yards. If your line gets off the ball, stays low, you're going to get 2 yards right there. And if he's got any hole at all, it's really hard to stop that running play down there off the 3.
4 plays, 74 yards. And a minute 51 off the clock. So we're down to 1:50 to play in the first quarter.
We got 34 points on the board, John.
What a quarter it has been. A kickoff return for a touchdown, a rushing touchdown by Monrovia, 2 receiving touchdowns by them, and then also a 42-yard touchdown run by Cascade's Liam Farmer.
All these officials look to be in really good shape, and that's probably a good thing. A lot of running here for officials.
A lot of it, especially here in this first quarter. Emery Newland to kick off from the 40.
Well, we'll see if Cascade special teams, if they can answer the bell again here with a nice return.
This is a short, kind of deep onside, bouncing.
That's a live ball.
And that's almost recovered by Monrovia, but Cascade able to fall on it at the 34-yard line. The man who saves the day for the Cadets to get down there, Jackson Mantooth, who's made that 69-yard kickoff return for a touchdown.
Well, what Monrovia does really good here is they don't want another good return, so they tried to keep it away from the return guys. It kind of almost caught Cascade off a little bit because that was a live ball and they just did get on it.
All right, so here comes the Cascade offense led by Devin Weigel. All he's had to do is hand it off once and it ended up in a touchdown. This time, hands off to Farmer again. Farmer decked at the 38, gaining 3, second down and 7. The man who got over there for Monrovia, Jet Massey, senior defensive lineman.
Yeah, we've mentioned Jet Massey a couple of times now. He plays offensive and defensive line, so he's really a nice athlete. What I like about him on really both sides of the field, he's just really quick off the ball.
On 2nd and 7. Not much this time.
He got tripped up in a hurry.
That was the fullback for Cascade.
And by Monrovia continued to put these points on the board in quantities. They are really putting the pressure on Cascade to kind of think about passing a little more than they don't do much at all, but you can't get way behind and run yourself back into this thing. So it's important now, I think, for Cascade and some pressure, if you will, if they're going to have to answer the bell with their offense and continue to stay close.
Jackson Mantooth got a yard, 3rd down and 6. Handoff, Mantooth again, turns the corner. Mantooth rode out of bounds, but he's shy of the 1st down. For Monrovia, the man who got over there, Alex Skidoris, to the 43-yard line,
well,
4th and short.
John, he makes the tackle, but look, number 55, Massey, again, look where he comes out of nowhere. Right there he is to push him out. That young man is flat out to the ball all the time.
So 4th down and 2 for Cascade from their own 43.
Massey plays linebacker on that Monrovia defense. Monrovia runs a 4-3.
And Cascade runs a 4-2-5. 21 seconds left in the first quarter. The snap goes over his head.
That's bad.
And he falls down on it. Devin Weigel has to fall right back down on it at the 26-yard line. And he's devastated because that was on 4th down, which means Monrovia takes over from the Cascade 26.
Yeah, timing not good here at all. And this is a critical mistake because at this point in time in the game, you can ill afford, to give Monrovia back the ball, and certainly back on their own 29-yard line with 17.5 seconds left in this first period.
A high snap from Walker Van Ness.
Wow. Just game 8, you can't be having mistakes like that. You're going to have mistakes in every game. Center to quarterback, whomever exchange, it's just got to be crisp every single play.
So it's from the 29-yard line for Cascade. Wagner takes a snap that kind of floated out, fires it downfield, and it's incomplete, but that might be a pass interference penalty coming up on Chad Nugent.
Well, he was beat again, and so the only thing he can do is, quite honestly, just do what he can to stop the pass, because he got the receiver behind him. Again, take a look here. See, he's beat right off the ball. And the only thing he can do, and this is a pretty smart play, he just puts his hands up and gets a little too much body, but still that would have been 6 had he not taken the penalty.
It would have been Gavin Followell with the touchdown again, which means this will put the ball at the 14-yard line of Cascade. So half the distance to the goal. Just our 2nd penalty of the night. 1 on Cascade, 1 on Monrovia.
He does the right thing, even if he gets a penalty here, because if he doesn't get the penalty, they're going to be 6. So at least do what you can at that point in time to break up the touchdown.
Belcher and Kostraszewski in there with Wagner. Pressure coming on Wagner. Incomplete on the pass.
Now that time, much better defense by Cascade. He had by Potters on that little 7-and-out route. He had his eyes a little more on the ball, so he was a defender has to know where the ball is and where his receiver is. If they don't, you're going to miss one of the two, and that's usually a probability for you to get 7. But that time he does a much better job.
2nd and 10 from the 14.
They'll do it for the first period, John.
Fast-moving quarter with a lot of points. Monrovia 22, Cascade 12. Second quarter comes up when we come back on the ISC Sports Network.
Sports medicine at Hendricks is all about providing level of care that's unmatched.
We've made our team deeper with surgical specialties.
We have the best physical therapy staff in the state.
We work very closely with the orthopedic specialists, and it really makes the treatment plan more seamless.
In an environment that's small enough to meet your needs, but also large enough to have the tools to take great care of you.
This is Hendricks.
Find care at hendricks.org/ortho.
At Defining Looks on Sagamore Parkway North in Lafayette, talk to a specialist and discuss your specific needs for wigs or toppers. Defining Looks is committed to helping anyone experiencing hair loss to lead a normal lifestyle. Our wigs are of the highest quality, allowing us to customize to your personal style. Shop our large selection for your medical, cosmetic, or fashion needs. Confident, bold, and fashionable. Be your own kind of beautiful at Defining Looks. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram.
And the pride that's on the line here tonight in this game is the Battle for I-70 sign right there. Of course, the winner of this game gets to take home that sign. Along with Jan Bozer, I'm John Herrick. Thank you for joining us on the ISC Sports Network. A big rivalry game between Cascade and Monrovia. Cascade knocked Monrovia out of the playoffs in the sectional round last year, 6-0. Monrovia trying to get some revenge here late in the regular season. 2nd down from the 14-yard line. Handoff to Belcher. Belcher scampers ahead, and he gets knocked down at about the 4. I think they might have given them a first down. Yes, they needed 10. He got exactly 10. 1st and goal for Monrovia. Wagner goes back to the line quickly. Wagner with the handoff, and it's Belcher, Kostraszewski. Kostraszewski gets the carry, and he scores.
Yep. That front line from Monrovia is just doing exactly what you would want them to do. Staying low, getting off the ball. And when you do that, take a look. This is a great look at, look how low they are. What you want to do as an offensive lineman is get lower than your defender, and that's worth 3 yards just within itself. And if you get off the ball, you know, those are 4- and 5-yard plays, all because the line comes off the ball low with their heads up and their shoulders square.
Walker Van Ness got him, but not before he got into the end zone. Last time Emory Newland tried an extra point attempt, he had it blocked, snap good, the hold good, and the kick. And finally, one of these A2 teams able to make an extra point without having some issues. And that makes it 29-12. Monrovia, we are just underway in the second quarter, 11:42 until halftime. Tonight's broadcast brought to you in part by Defining Looks Wig, Hair and Nail Salon, where they can assist you with a wig for your hair loss needs due to COVID-19 or any medical conditions such as cancer or age-related thinning hair. They're also certified in toppers, wigs for kids, and children with hair loss. You can find them on the web at defininglooks.com or on Facebook and Instagram.
Say hello to our buddy Mark James, a longtime Monrovia guy. Voice of the 500. I don't know if he's watching tonight, but I know he's a big-time Monrovia guy.
Oh, he's 100% watching.
Oh, yeah.
He actually helped me get ready for this game a little bit.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. Mark is that guy. Great guy. Love working with Mark.
Such a great resource when it comes to all things IndyCar and Monrovia.
Well, right now, Monrovia is acting like a lot of IndyCar because they're just flat out getting up and down this field in a hurry.
Newland to kick off from the 40. Might try that deep onside to prevent a kickoff return for a touchdown. Cascade's already got one of those tonight. There it is. But that's Fielded at the 30, and that's a good run back. This time, it's Potters, and Potters will give Cascade outstanding field position. So Braden Potters says, okay, you're going to try that, I'll be ready.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Cascade continues to find something on these special teams and give themselves a chance, and that's great news because they're going to have to get some points here. They're down now 17, so the pressure continues to mount a little bit for them to have to put points on the board. Sure helps out a lot when you get great field position.
29-yard return puts Cascade at the Monrovia 41, first down and 10 for Devin Weigel and company. Weigel with the handoff and going nowhere.
No.
Monrovia defense all over that play, pushing him back to the 44, a loss of 3, second down and long, and poor Logan Gibbs just had nowhere to go.
Man, I am telling you, Jet Massey is showing me something here. If he's not on a tackle, he's assisting on a tackle or pursuing a tackle. I really like the way he plays football.
Cascade's making a few substitutions here. They're bringing back on one of their offensive linemen, Kyle Sullivan, a sophomore. Weigel's trying to have a conversation here with his head coach, Connor Simmons, and Cascade ends up calling a timeout with 11:01 to play in the first half. 29-12, advantage Monrovia. Now, here's the thing, Jan, we talked about it in the pregame. Cascade is 2-5, and they've shown flashes of doing some really good things. They've got 3 backs that average over 6 yards of carry. We know what Liam Farmer can do with that 42-yard touchdown run. Now they're in a hole where they have to respond. What do they have to do on this drive?
Well, first of all, what they can, I'm going to tell you what they cannot do first before I tell you what they need to do. They cannot make mistakes. They've made some critical mistakes here in that first period. It really, really hurt them. So now they're in this era where now they're chasing to get back in this game, and they can't make mistakes, number one. And so they've really got to get off the football, and now they've got themselves a little bit of a hole here. This is not a team that likes to be in second and long position, but now you've got to find, we're in game 8. You've got to be able to make this play, or at least get yourself 7, 8, 9 yards where you can get a couple downs and get a first down.
Weigel trying to set up shot. Keeps it. Weigel gets some of that lost yardage back and a little bit more.
There you go.
To the 38-yard line, gain of 5. That makes it 3rd down and 8.
But now at least a 3rd and 8 is a doable type down for Cascade, so that's a nice play. Just a keeper, get what you can with it. Now you got a couple downs here. Get 3 or 4 yards per down if you're Cascade, and you get yourself a first down, keep this drive going, and get back in this thing.
Cole Petty and Massey in there on the tackle for Monrovia.
I mean, Cascade's, quite honestly, is just getting a good block, and the runners finding an avenue within those blocks. Nothing fancy, it's just good old-fashioned football.
The back behind him. This time is Farmer. Farmer takes the pitch. Shy of the first down, but based on the way both these teams like to go for it on 4th down, wouldn't be surprised to see the offense stay on the field here at the 35-yard line. So from here, it's about 4th down and 4.
Well, this is a tough defensive play for Monrovia, because what Cascade does here is tries to make it a numbers game, meaning they try to outnumber that side of the line of Monrovia. And so Monrovia does a pretty good job of staying home and battle through that overload, if you will, blocking scheme that Cascade tried to throw on them.
It is inside. 10 minutes to play in the second quarter. 4th down play. Farmer, handoff. It'll depend on the spot. He is close.
Yeah, I think he's short. He's going to be short a good yard.
Farmer had the right idea, and nope, did not get it. Turnover on downs. Ball back to Monrovia. They end up getting it at their own 33.
So, in football, there's a lot of small little victories. So if you're Monrovia, for that defense, especially when you play a lot of defense, you look for a little victory. And to me, that's a nice victory for the defense. Backs against the walls. You got to hang tough for a couple yards, and they did exactly that.
Bulldogs back out on the field in white on your screen. Cascade in black. Of course, with that powder blue on this beautiful turf field here in Clayton, Indiana at Memorial Stadium. 1st and 10 for Wagner. Wagner handoff. That's Belcher. Belcher to the 34, not much there. Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. First man there for Cascade, Hunter Coates.
And now what Monrovia needs to do, John, is not watch the scoreboard but play the game. Because what they don't want to do with a big lead is take their foot off the gas pedal. They really need to just stay focused here and put a team away. That's what you want as a coach, especially going now into the playoffs. You want all the momentum you can grasp in a game and challenging your team. Just keep playing hard even when they're a couple scores ahead.
2nd and 8, inside 9 minutes to play in the 2nd quarter. This time the belly play goes to Belcher again. Belcher to the 36, so 2 2-yard gains to start this drive. That makes it 3rd down and 6 for Monrovia.
And look for the pass again. They've been picking on that left side a little bit when they get 3rd and long, basically just a drop back pass out of the belly, trying to get their receiver, get separation. So look for this left side again and see if they come right back where they've had some success earlier in this game.
Watch Followell. He's on the bottom of your screen. Been a huge factor in this game already. Kostrasuski tries the right side.
Wow, interesting.
Doesn't get any really substantial yardage. Got to the 38, picking up 2. That makes it 4th down and about 5. It's an interesting decision.
Yeah, it will be.
You go for it here, up 17.
I would not, but let's see what Monrovia. They didn't ask me, but with a lead like this, you pin them back, I think. But let's see. They've been doing a good job of moving the football. Kind of appears like they may go for it. Let's see what they do.
7:30 and counting left in the first half. I think Monrovia is going to take this play clock all the way down and then call a timeout. At least that's the way it appears. That is
there it is.
Well, they take a delay game penalty, so they don't even use the time. Okay, well, one referee threw a delay of game flag.
Let's see which referee wins this battle. There's a flag that was thrown. They usually give the timeout instead of the flag. So if you don't call the timeout, you will get the flag.
Yep,
they wave it off.
They just wave it off and pick it up. Okay. So Monrovia and Cascade have each used a timeout in this first half.
Interesting why they waited so long. I can't imagine why they would kind of hesitate. Maybe they had some thoughts about going for it. That sometimes coaching staffs don't always agree on that decision, and the head coach has to call timeout because it gets too deep into the play clock. Well, let's see what they do.
Cascade gets the ball back. They probably need to use more of the passing game. How do they open up this passing game, Jalen?
Well, it's tough when you're a team that doesn't pass very much. You can't just automatically one game start passing the ball with a lot of effectiveness. But that's why when you are a pure running team, really like both these ball clubs, however Monrovia has shown tonight, they certainly can throw the ball. But that's why it's so important for you to stay within striking distance, because that's not a comfort zone that you want to have to go to.
Well, clearly Monrovia at least doesn't appear to be lining up to.
Message right here, John. This is a message from the coach. They may do a hard snap, too. Let's wait and see. A hard count, I should say.
Wagner.
Play action.
And he throws it out. It's incomplete, so they don't get it. And this is going to give Cascade outstanding field position.
Yeah, interesting play call for me, because they have just been winning this battle on the left side all night long. And the little play action to the right side. Now, he was wide open. The pass is just underthrown.
So Cascade gets the ball back, 7:17 to play in the second quarter. And they will get it at the Monrovia 38-yard line.
Yeah, this is a nice break for Cascade. Now, if you're Cascade, John, you've got to take advantage of this. If you've got a shot of getting back in, you got a little break here. Let's see if you can capitalize on it if you're Cascade.
Otter's at the bottom of the screen. Weigel. Handoff. There's Farmer. Farmer up the middle with a big run. Still going to the 21-yard line.
Farmer's been impressive tonight. When he's got some room, he showed us that he can get off the ball.
It's A 17-yard gain for Farmer and a first down. The man holding on for dear life to try to make that tackle, Eli Welch, but that is just a punishing run by Liam Farmer, who's already got a 42-yard touchdown run tonight.
You know, you get all types of runners. You get the big guys run hard. You get those shorter guys who can read. Then you got the real quick guys and with some speed. And he's certainly that type of guy. You give him a little room, man, and he gets off the ball so quick, he can get 6-7 yards.
This time it's Mantooth. Jackson Mantooth with the carry. Dropped down on that tackle by Sean Gaston, but he gets inside the 20 to the 18. That is a gain of 4, second down and 6 for Cascade.
Yeah, Cascade trying to get something here with 6:26 left in this first half. Now on the other side of the ball, Monrovia, I was a big defensive guy, so this is a challenge time for the defense. Hey, guys, come on, let's go. We don't care where the ball's at. We're going to show you what kind of defense we are here and now with our backs against the wall.
Mantooth the carry again. Mantooth dishing out some punishment, but also taking some in the process to the 15-yard line. Gaining 3, that makes it third down and about 4.
Yeah, this is a long developing play. This puts a little more onus on the offensive line to stay with their blocks because it is such a long developing play. What they're trying to do is give their backs just a little time in that delay handoff to just read and see if there's any holes develop them and kind of just let them pick their hole.
Weigel just keeps it. Straight ahead he goes.
Yeah, I like the call a lot.
Now, Weigel gets to the 10-yard line, gaining 5 and a first down. He was tossed down by Trenton Hale, but not before he got the first, and I think they can get one more first down without scoring here. No, they cannot. So it's first and goal from the 10 as Weigel has one last conversation here with his head coach, Connor Simmons.
But John, you see the difference. That obviously with the quarterback keeper, quick hitter, the center gets off the ball and it's a quick hitter versus a longer developing type play. Really some success on that quick hitter.
First and goal, 5 minutes to play, second quarter. Weigel, handoff Farmer. Farmer tries to back his way in, and down he goes at the 9 for a gain of 1, second down and goal.
You know, this is this time really in the season and this game, John, where the coaches can only do so much. They can prepare you, they can coach you. This is really down on the back of the seniors, leaders, everybody on this Cascade Ball Club to desire and to put the will together to get this thing in the end zone. Somehow, some way, you have got to find a way to score and finish this in the red zone.
This is Cascade's longest drive of the game so far. This is their 6th play of this drive. Farmer behind Weigel. Farmer gets the carry, and Monrovia knew that was coming. Slew of white jerseys there to bring him down at the 8, the first of which was Alex Skidoris.
Well, defense is all about just being lower than the offensive lineman. That time Monrovia's front guys in that 4-3 defense just absolutely stayed low. When you stay low, you have a real tendency to stay at home too and kind of clog up those holes, and that was a really nice defensive stance for the Bulldogs.
Third down and goal from the 7 for Cascade. They're going to need to hurry quickly because
can't make a mistake here. Yep.
Play clock's down to 4.
Gotta go.
And I think they're going to just take it down and use their second timeout of the half. So Cascade uses timeout number 2 and quarter number 2. 3:27 left in the second quarter. Monrovia leading Cascade 29-12. And all right, Jan, looking at Cascade here, big decision. It's 4-down territory either way, I would think. What sort of play do you come up with here out of the timeout?
Well, if I'm Cascade, because they don't throw very much, the surprise element is what you might think about here. So maybe you consider some type of play action, even though your comfort zone is not, or some type of reverse, any type of play that you really haven't ran to try to perhaps throw a little wrinkle in right now to catch Monrovia off just enough to find a play that works, obviously. And I like to find plays that you really haven't ran during the game to throw a little wrinkle to the defense to see if they're on top of their game. We'll see what Cascade does here.
Well, to your point, Cascade only averages 15 passing yards a game and 126 on the ground.
So if you don't pass much, a reverse, a play action, some type of unbalanced line, anything to just throw a wrinkle at a defense to see if you can catch them off guard.
3:27 left in the first half. 3rd and goal from the 7 for Cascade. Weigel, handoff, man-tooth to the 5. And then he was taken down from behind by Nick Arnold. Big tackle by Arnold to prevent him from scoring. So 4th and goal for Cascade. I think also Cascade's thinking about trying to use as much clock as they can to not let Monrovia have a lot of time left. We're ticking down to 3 minutes left in the second quarter.
You called that perfectly. Nick Arnold makes a great one-on-one tackle there. You just don't have much real estate as a defense, so you've got to read quickly, you've got to get off the ball quickly, and more importantly, you've got to make sure you wrap and make a sure tackle. Looks like a field goal, John.
They are going to try a field goal from this distance. It would be 22 yards. Snap good, hold good. The kick for Potters, he got it this time.
And that's it. You got to get some points. At a minimum, come away with some points. You got points now, a little momentum because you scored, and so that's certainly good things for Cascade.
Braden Potters, a 22-yard field goal, an 8-play drive that goes 33 yards. And for Cascade, they ended up taking 4 minutes and 37 seconds off the clock there to put us at 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the first half. So Monrovia is going to get the ball back up by 14 with 2:40 left in the half, and they have 2 timeouts remaining.
Well, it's a 2-touchdown game now. So Cascade, when I say keep it within striking distance, I usually talk about that meaning about a 2-score game, because that's a doable comeback that's achievable. So certainly they're still in this game. On the other side of the field now, if you're Monrovia, man, you want to get something before this half, even if at a minimum a field goal, because you want that to be a 3-score differential.
Now Monrovia also got the ball to begin the game, so Cascade will get it to begin the third quarter. Potters has it teed up. And furthest back deep is Followell. Followell plays this from the 2. Followell trying to get to the outside. Does to the 30, so a return for Followell of 28 yards.
So now Monrovia will be in what we would call the 2 minute, but you got 2 minutes and 30, so you actually got a little extra time, 2:32 to be exact. So you got plenty of time, because you work on this with what they call the 2-minute drill to go 80 yards. And so Monrovia's got plenty of time to execute the 2-minute drill, if you will, offensively, to try to get some points before halftime.
Both these teams coming off losses. Monrovia to Lutheran, the top team in the Indiana Crossroads Conference, who's undefeated. Cascade lost a tough one to Speedway, but actually had one of their best offensive outputs of the season. Lost 48-23, but they only averaged 14 points a game. They got 23 last week, and they have 15 so far tonight. Of course, 6 came on that kickoff return.
It is an absolute must if you're Cascade to keep Monrovia off the scoreboard here.
Wagner handoff to Belcher. Belcher, nice first run to begin this drive. Gets to the 37-yard line for a gain of 7. Second down and 3 for the Bulldogs.
And the other thing Cascade has to do, John, is the secondary has to keep everything in front of them. They cannot allow Monrovia to get behind their secondary at all. So they've got to really watch and keep people in front of them here defensively.
It's a pitch to Kostraszewski. Kostraszewski almost got away from that tackle, but that was a big play made by Cascade's Wyatt Noren.
Yeah, Noren really comes from behind here. Look at this. You talk about hustle and desire. That's a great effort there defensively to make that stop, because it makes a diving stop. Now look, now, in your picture here, look how much Cascade is throwing up at this offense. They're putting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 men in the box here.
He did get 6 yards on that, which was a first down, but could have gotten a lot more. Kostraszewski again breaks free almost and takes Farmer with him, but Farmer rides him out of bounds at the 49-yard line. We'll see where forward progress puts him. Of course, this is a big rivalry game, so you don't want things to get too chippy. Good.
Well, what you're trying to do for Cascade, you're gambling is what you're doing, because you're throwing 6-7 men at the box because you've got to stop them. But the problem with that is if you miss and Monrovia gets in that second layer of the defense, there's not much there to stop them. So there's kind of the good news is you have the bodies there to stop. The bad news is if you miss, it could be disaster. So it's a little bit of gamble, but it's one that Cascade feels like they need to take here to stop Monrovia.
Gain of 5, second down and 5, 1:33 left in the half. Belcher again into Cascade territory and has the first down. He's right at the marker.
Clock still running at 1:19 now. Time getting away. Monrovia needs to pick it up here a little bit.
So that marker is right at, they're saying 3rd and inches. So it looked like he might have gotten a first down, but they're saying it's 3rd and inches. So back goes Wagner to the gun this time. Wagner going deep, might have a man. He just overshot him a little bit. That was Followell.
Wow. He had him too.
And that stops the clock at 54.5 seconds.
Extra coat of paint, he might have had that. That's how close it was. He had it just where his receiver had the only shot of getting it. It's pretty good defense. There was a little separation there. You can see about a yard. Man, if that ball's just a little less, that would have been a reception.
Braden Potter's breathing a sigh of relief. He was the man covering, 4th and inches. Monrovia going for it. Handoff, Belcher.
Good stop.
Belcher just moving ahead and has the first down by a few inches.
Yeah. The key is get the first down, but not by much. Cascade throws everybody at this one. Pretty good defense, but he still gets that first down.
50.5 seconds. Now the clock winds.
Walker Van Hess on that tackle.
Kostraszewski this time. Trying to get around black jerseys, able to get some positive yardage out of that when it looked like it might not happen, and a flag comes in late.
Now 36.7 seconds, so not a lot of time. Cascade hanging in there, quite honestly, John, defensively. They're playing really, in my opinion, their best defense of this game right now.
Might be in the area of a face mask on Cascade. This is just our 3rd penalty of the first half.
That's good. At this time of the year, you just don't, your teams, you do not want to be in the penalty arena, just at a minimum at best. You're right, John. This really has kind of been a penalty-free type ball game. This one's going to be a personal foul against Monrovia.
So two penalties against Monrovia, a block in the back and a personal foul.
First foul is block in the back against Monrovia. Second one is a personal foul.
Of course, one of them they'll decline, the other they'll accept. I would think they're going to take the personal foul penalty. That's what he's asking Cascade coach Connor Simmons about which one he wants, so they can figure out the yardage to mark off. Either way, this will back Monrovia up into their own territory just not long after they had started to move the ball onto Cascade's side of the field.
But I don't think that Monrovia is going to get conservative here at all with the lead that they have. They've been picking on this left side, haven't went to it much here in this second period. So Cascade's got to be aware that that long pass play that Monrovia has got comfortable with on this left side still is in play here. Crackback block. Still plenty of time.
So the penalty yardage moves them back to their own 44. So they need to go 56 yards for a touchdown. They're going to need to do it in 36.7 seconds, but they do have 2 timeouts to work with. Cascade does have 1 if they need to use it. As soon as they got set, now the clock winds. Wagner heaves it down the middle. Catch made at the 20-yard line, and that's for the first time tonight making a reception. Austin Leeds, a senior wide receiver, 6'7", 195 pounds.
Well, what he brings to the table is a complete mismatch. How do you cover a 6'7" with long arms when he's got 2 and 3 inches, or 3 feet, I should say, length on you or reach on you? That's a great call by the coaching staff to get a mismatch, and got it right where his guy could go up and get it. Well, I think you might see a little more of him. Kind of hard to guard those big 6'7" long, lengthy guys.
Yep. 32 yards on that pass play. So Monrovia uses their second timeout of the half. 21.7 seconds on the clock.
I didn't think that Monrovia would take a knee here by any sense of the imagination. This is a lot. They want to win this ball game. They want to have tons of momentum. They just, the coaches now, while they don't talk about it, are getting the itch for the playoffs, and they want to make sure their players are playing their best football physically, but as much mentally. Listen, guys, we're playing to win. Every time we go out here, we're going to do what it takes, regardless of the time on the clock.
I talked to Coach Andy Olson from Monrovia earlier this week about how things have turned around for Monrovia. 2 years ago, this team was 0-10. And he said, well, this best thing we've been doing as a coaching staff is showing them love and helping them understand that they are capable of so much more when they work together. And boy, has that been the case. Yeah. They've gone from 0-10 2 years ago to 5-2 on the doorstep of possibly getting their 6th win tonight, and a conference win at that if they can do it. And it's 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs at the Cascade 29. 27 yards on that last pass play. And Wagner going for it all towards the sideline, incomplete. Tried to go back to Followell that time.
Well, when you're a program like Monrovia, who has a state championship, I believe, in 2015, everybody's always going to talk about that every single year. That's an expectation. Once your team or your school has been there, it becomes an expectation. So it's tough at times because it's really hard to get there, and it's even harder at times to return there, but it's an expectation once you've been there.
2nd and 10 for Monrovia at the Cascade 29. They've got 14 seconds to work with, so time for maybe 2 more plays. Wagner with pressure coming. He's hit as he throws. He's able to complete that, though, inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Big reception by Alex Skidoris.
Yeah, and just 7.9 seconds left in this first half of play. Monrovia hurrying up here, John.
Wagner decides to kill the clock by spiking it with 2.3 seconds.
What Monrovia wants to do here, you see the quick pass play, and I'll tell you, he had somebody in his face when he threw this football, and the receiver took a shot too, so that's a really good heads-up play by Monrovia. Everybody just staying in there, taking a shot for the team.
That was Devin Weigel who delivered that big hit for Cascade, but just a tad too late. So from this distance, they are at the 7-yard line of Cascade. So from here, it would be a 24-yard field goal. They've put 1.3 seconds back on the clock to make it 3.6.
I'll tell you what I like. I like the big guy. I like the tall guy there. Get a mismatch on him, get it up high. It's basically non-defendable if they get it up high and he goes after it.
The big guy you're referring to, Austin Leeds, is in the huddle.
Yeah, you see him right there in your picture. It's pretty obvious who he is. He's a head taller than everybody else, man. I get him on a one-on-one, put it up high, and give him a shot to go after a jump ball.
Andy Olson, the head coach from Monrovia, I think maybe talking about how much time is on the clock. I think he's lobbying for more, and he's not winning that argument.
No. Coaches rarely win these arguments, but they're still going to make them.
So I think Olson's trying to figure out what he wants to do here. Now he's calling a timeout.
Yeah.
So I think what he might decide to do here. Again, Wagner, well, the offense still out on the field. And this is the last timeout for Monrovia, so they're done with them. Cascade does have one in their back pocket if they want to use it. 3.6 seconds on the clock. So what do you think now? What do you think Coach Olson's telling his team?
I don't know what he's telling his team. I know what I would do, but this is a really interesting call. Do you really, I don't know how good their field goal kicker is, but boy, I'd love to get a high or an isolation play I talked about earlier. But on the other hand, you'd like to go in 3 scores ahead here, but obviously, I think if they were going to kick field goal, they'd already have the field goal team out there. So I think they're going for this.
Well, Coach Andy Olson apparently from Monrovia did win a little bit of that argument, because now they have decided to put an extra second back on the clock at 4.6. So what was 2.3 was 3.6, and now it's 4.6.
It's not impossible to run 2 plays.
It's pretty hard.
Yeah, it's pretty hard, but there is a shot, but it's impossible with 3 seconds. So I will see if that plays any factor at all, and how and what type of play he's going to call here. He talks to his team, hey guys, here's what I'm thinking. Then it's interesting to see if you get any feedback, guys. We can do this. Well, this is a must defensive play, John, for Cascade.
At some point, they're going to have to say that the timeout is over and the play clock is going to start. Taking a long time in this huddle.
If Cascade has any shot, at a minimum, they can give a field goal. But to go 3 touchdowns down into halftime, that's going to be tough. We'll see what happens. This is a big play on both sides of the field.
And so no field goal. Wagner going back out under center.
Look for play action.
Whistle, and now what? I think Cascade's going to use their last time out here. Yep, they are. Wanted to see how Monrovia lined up on offense so they could get set up defensively.
Yep, wanted to see what they would set up in. Nothing real special, just dual backfield. And now they're going to probably talk about at least 2 or 3 different options that they think Monrovia might pull at them, because as a defensive coaching staff, you got to cover everything here. This is a big down. Talked about it earlier. You could really hurt Cascade at home here if you're Monrovia and put a score here. On the other hand, if you're Cascade and you can get a stop here, you feel good about things. You're only 2 scores down. You're still right in this thing. So this is as big a defensive series perhaps as Cascade has had in a while.
And also, Cascade does get the ball to begin.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. And we get the ball back. So we get a stop here, get the ball back, man. We're right where we want to be. Good point, John. I had forgotten about that.
I don't make good points
No, you
all
do.
that often.
You make a lot of good points, but that one is huge because you're always in football thinking ahead. What's next? What's next? What's next? And in fact, that if we get a stop and we get the ball back, that is a huge factor in decision process.
So now Wagner goes out of the shotgun. He was under center. Now he's from the gun. Wagner.
All day to throw.
Fires to the end zone. Intercepted! It's intercepted by the Cadets, and the ball pops out. It's still loose, and they fall on it in the end zone.
It's a touchback.
So which ends up being a touchback, but what a chaotic end to an exciting first half. Deegan Shearer falls on it just in the nick of time.
That's a beautiful defensive play by Cascade. I'm not sure what we're talking about here. Everybody hasn't left yet. What do we got, John?
Devin Weigel, by the way, had the interception. Then the ball was jarred free on the fumble. Yeah, officials are talking about it.
That was a nice cut on the football from the linebacker position. He waited at the right time, and you can only do that if you got your eyes locked on that ball to make a cut. Take a look right there. If he doesn't make that cut, that's 6.
Now, what they might be wondering here, Jan, is are they saying, did he have full possession for the interception or did he not? And if he didn't, then it's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, either way,
so
it should be over.
Yeah, but it's probably true. And they might be wondering, if it was indeed incomplete or not an interception, then maybe there should be some time left on the clock.
Now they're calling a safety.
Now they're calling a safety.
I have to think about this.
So I think what now they're saying, oh my goodness, Connor Simmons is going to lose his mind, the Cascade coach. So we're going to look at this. I think what they're saying here is that he had possession. Okay, so here is Weigel with the interception. So they're saying he has possession. He loses the ball here, which is a fumble, and then it gets kicked into the end zone and recovered by Shearer. So because they had possession, lost it, and it goes into the end zone and is recovered, that is a safety. So I actually think, despite all the chaos here, that the call is made correctly, and it's 2 points for Monrovia for a safety.
I think he's arguing that he never intercepted. It would be his argument that it wasn't a fumble, that was just incomplete pass. Let's take a look at from the different angle. The question on the table is, did Cascade have pure possession here?
I mean, yeah, I would say he did.
I would suggest he did. I think that's possession, and then I think this is a correct call, because I think that indeed he did have possession, and then it's pushed backwards, and there it would lie to be a safety. I think they got it right. I really do.
And think about this. I mean, giving up 2 points there is a lot better than giving up a touchdown.
Very true.
You don't fall on that, and Monrovia gets it, then that's a touchdown. So you'd rather have 2 points than 6. What a chaotic end to a very exciting first half in this big rivalry game in the Battle of I-70. It is the Monrovia Bulldogs leading the Cascade Cadets 31-15 from Memorial Stadium. Our Endeavor Communications halftime show comes up when we come back in just a moment on the ISC Sports Network.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Irritated by your internet provider? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eForce high-speed internet. Download speed? No problem. Download an HD movie in seconds with our remarkable gigabit speed. Endeavor not only provides the latest fiber optic technology, we're also here to help you use it. We also provide television, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirits, to pure sports. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
The gratitude that we have for everyone here at Hendricks Regional Health, it's bigger than a thank you.
We have been recognized by Health Grades for 14 years in a row for patient experience. There's only 7 other organizations in the country who have that track record.
You treat everyone like they're your neighbor, friend, family.
That's the most important thing to Hendricks.
14 different hospital staff members came in to meet our baby. That's how much these people cared.
Find care now at thisishendricks.org.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click weendeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on ISC Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now, because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not
before.
going to happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, so many places to watch Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
It is our Endeavor Communications halftime show here from Cascade at Memorial Stadium. Monrovia leads at 31-15. Along with Jed Moser, I'm John Herrick. We're going to show you some of these first half highlights. Our show at the half brought to you by Endeavor Communications Business Phone Solutions. More than a phone system, Endeavor offers a hosted, unified communications solution that gives businesses the ability to be accessible anytime, anywhere, on any device. Find out more at weendeavor.com. So, Jan, this game had an insane start.
Yeah.
And it also had an incredibly insane finish to the first half. So here's how it starts. Monrovia goes down. You saw Gavin Followell get that 47-yard touchdown on the reception. Cascade answered with a Jackson Montooth 69-yard kickoff return. Both those teams came up empty on their point after attempts, making it 6-6. And then here was this big return as well by Followells. He goes tumbling forward, setting up good field position. Monrovia goes 5 plays, 46 yards off of that. And Brayton Belcher scores from 3 yards away. They got a couple of big plays on that drive. One of those, as you saw right there, to Kostrasuski, and he got him down near the goal line. Cascade had some opportunities. They had a couple of drives stall on downs. And then they responded, though. I mean, late in the second quarter, they go on an 8-play, 33-yard scoring drive, 4 minutes and 37 seconds off the clock, and it ended with a Braden Potter's 22-yard field goal. But Jan, I know that offense and defense are important, and you always hear people say special teams is the third element of the game that kind of gets lost sometimes. But I'd say that third element of the game has sure been found in this one.
Yeah, it really has. And you know what I seen two teams really playing hard. And when you play hard, and you've mentioned a few times that, this is a rival game, you can see the emotion of the coaches, even there at the end where he caught a flag. But he was making a statement there to his team, to his program, man. This is a lot and some passion. I love it. I love it when head coaches and assistant coaches, while at times you can't cross over the line, but show the passion. They want their kids to feed off that passion. And look how hard both teams played. But it was really some big-time pass plays that really kind of broke this thing open for Monrovia.
And let's talk about what happened at the end of the first half. We're going to get to that here in a second on the highlights. But and it's just an incredible way to end that half, as that was a bomb of a throw by Wagner to follow.
A couple times. Those were huge. Those were backbreakers. Monrovia, good job by the offensive coaching staff to really kind of spot that. And it wasn't just open once. It was open a couple times.
And then at the end of the half, Cascade is driving down the field. They're having a drive go well. They end up getting that field goal, and this was a back-breaking play here. This was on 4th down where the bad snap was. They gave Monrovia great field position out of that, and they ended up scoring on this touchdown run off of that by Kostrasuski. But late in the half, I mean, Monrovia is driving down the field. They are close to scoring a touchdown, and then here's what happens. Devin Weigel intercepts the pass from Eli Wagner, and after he intercepts it, he fumbles it, and then it rolls into the end zone, and you got to give a lot of credit to the defensive lineman Deegan Shearer, who fell on it in the end zone, but the officials ruled that Weigel had possession, fumbled it after intercepting it. It rolled into the end zone, and Shearer recovered it where he was touched down by several Monrovia players. And after that happened, they called it a safety, which, again, if he doesn't receive that or fall on it, probably could have been a touchdown for Monrovia. But instead, it ends up being a safety, and that also led to head coach Connor Simmons for Cascade getting very upset and getting called for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and we're going to show you how that
here's
happened.
The play in question. Here's clearly the interception. Now the question is, did he have possession? There's no question in the replay that he did, and now the ball becomes a live ball. See, if it's not a possession, that's a dead ball. So it is a live ball, and the heads-up play, quite honestly, here is by Cascade, is getting on the ball, because if they just think it's a dead ball and Monrovia gets on it, it's 7, not 2 points. So you play until the whistle and then let the officials sort it out. But it's a bang-bang play, and I think they absolutely got this right.
And the one good thing about that for Cascade is that at least it keeps it a 2-score game at the half, where it is 31-15. Monrovia leading it at intermission. We'll take one other break. When we come back, hopefully we'll have some scores for you from around the great state of Indiana on week 8 of the high school football season. You're watching high school football on the ISC Sports Network.
High school football fans, welcome back to Friday night, to pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school football.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back!
This is Friday night. This is Indiana high school football. This is your IHSAA.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Sports medicine at Hendricks is all about providing level of care that's unmatched.
We've made our team deeper with surgical specialties.
We have the best physical therapy staff in the state.
We work very closely with the orthopedic specialists, and it really makes the treatment plan more seamless.
In an environment that's small enough to meet your needs, but also large enough to have the tools to take great care of you.
This is Hendricks.
Find care at hendricks.org/ortho.
At Defining Looks on Sagamore Parkway North in Lafayette, talk to a specialist and discuss your specific needs for wigs or toppers. Defining Looks is committed to helping anyone experiencing hair loss to lead a normal lifestyle. Our wigs are of the highest quality, allowing us to customize to your personal style. Shop our large selection for your medical, cosmetic, or fashion needs. Confident, bold, and fashionable. Be your own kind of beautiful at Defining Looks. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Irritated by your internet provider? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eForce high-speed internet. Download speed? No problem. Download an HD movie in seconds with our remarkable gigabit speed. Endeavor not only provides the latest fiber optic technology, we're also here to help you use it. We also provide television, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirit, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back!
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
The gratitude that we have for everyone here at Hendricks Regional Health, it's bigger than a thank you.
We have been recognized by Health Grades for 14 years in a row for patient experience. There's only 7 other organizations in the country who have that track record.
You treat everyone like they're your neighbor, friend, family.
That's the most important thing to Hendricks.
14 different hospital staff members came in to meet our baby. That's how much these people cared.
Find care now at thisishendricks.org.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. all at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on ISC Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not going
before.
to happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, so many places to watch Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
At the half of this one, Memorial Stadium 31-15, Monrovia leads Cascade. Along with Jan Bozer, I'm John Herrick. Thank you for joining us on the ISC Sports Network. Some other scores to let you know about. One of our other ISC Sports Network games, which you can find tonight on ISCSportsNetwork.com or also on the Handy Dandy app. I think this was also being streamed, televised locally in Indianapolis on MyNDTV. Carmel leading Warren Central 17-0. Also in the mix, Center Grove leads Lawrence North 36-6. Third quarter action, Ron Colley leading Cincinnati Elder 21-7. Westfield all over Fishers 27-0. Heritage Hills leading Southridge 7-0. North Montgomery and Frankfort is the other game we have on our ISC Sports Network tonight. So those are the 3 games we have for, and that is actually being produced by the Frankfort students. They are the Hot Dogs, so that is being produced by the great kids on the Hot Dog Network. That game against North Montgomery. 31-15 here, as the lead is 16 for that team in white that you see on your screen there. The Monrovia Bulldogs ranked 12th in Class 2A, record of 5-2, and back come the Cascade Cadets onto the field in the warm-up period as we get ready to start the third quarter, just a couple of minutes away from that. So Jan, Cascade is going to get the ball to begin the third quarter. Not the end of the first half that they wanted, but again, they're only down 2 scores, and they get a touchdown on this drive. They can change the complexion of this game. What do they have to do on this opening drive of the third quarter?
Well, I think that they talked about, guys, listen, at times we played as good as or better than Monrovia did, and we got to continue to do that. I think they made a really nice play. It didn't quite finish for them, but overall I thought their defense was pretty solid in that last drive. So to me, there was a lot of pluses for Cascade in that halftime. Now, that said, you're a couple scores down. You've got to take this kickoff and make some noise early. Get off and play the type of ball. Now, you know, that 1/4 down snap over the top of the head, that was just an absolute backbreaker because they had a lot of things going. If they could have got a first down there, but nevertheless, that was just a crucial penalty. They had to talk about, guys, we cannot allow ourselves to make those penalties in this second half. But if we play ball, cut the penalties out, we have every shot in the world here to be competitive against Monrovia.
Monrovia taking the last jumping jacks here. By the way, just as an aside, coming up this weekend on Sunday, it is the high school football pairing show, which will be streamed on the IHSAA Champions Network on radio and TV. The Hall of Famers, Bob Lovell and Paul Condrey, will be hosting that together. And then after that, week 9 of the high school football season, with games being played on October 15th, next Friday. Cascade has Ritter up next after tonight, and Monrovia goes on the road to play Cecina, but that game will be played at Beach Grove. That's what both those teams are going to be doing in week 9 when they finish out the regular season. Monrovia scoring 31 points a game on average, and they have scored 31 so far. They give up 22. Cascade, they score 15 points a game on average, and they allow 36 defensively. So Jan, it's interesting, both of these teams right at their offensive output totals for an entire game at the half.
Yeah, it was explosive, a lot of energy, some points were scored. I love it. We talked a little bit about Cascade here starting in the second half. Let's talk a little bit about Monrovia. I think what they talked about, listen, guys, we've got to clean up the special team returns against Cascade. They found some things there. We got to clean that up for sure. And then I think what you want to do if you're Monrovia, you just talk about, hey, let's get a stop. Let's get a stop. Let's get the ball back to our offense, and then put together one of those really good drives like we did there in that first period that ate up almost half of the period and put this one out of reach early. You don't want to allow your opponent to stick around anyway, show you perform. So they talked about, guys, let's play our best ball here to start the second half.
It is a mostly clear night in Clayton, Indiana, 70 degrees, pretty unseasonably warm.
I'm not complaining.
For October. Yeah, it's been a great night. But again, remember at the end of the first half, Cascade was called for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. So that means that Monrovia gets to kick off from the Cascade 45-yard line. So the kicker for the Bulldogs, the freshman, Emery Newland, 5'6", 110 pounds, gets to tee this one up at the Cascade 45-yard line. If Cascade can win tonight, they will have 3 wins, and that's all their win total from last season. And I think he tries a bit of an onside kick here, and I think somebody was offsides for Monrovia. So they immediately blow that dead.
Well, it's kind of an interesting play. I like it from Monrovia because you already are way back. So you know if you kick it, they're going to get the ball in the 20 anyway. So try a little element of surprise here, see if you can do something to catch Cascade, maybe not paying the type of attention they need to, and still a ball here.
So they'll kick it from the 50 now after that 5-yard penalty. 5th penalty of the night in the game, 3 on Monrovia. And they try the onside kick again. It bounces up in the air, fight for it, and Monrovia says they've got it. Waiting on the call.
You couldn't ask for a better bounce. That's exactly what you want when you're doing the onside kick, is to have it hit the turf and take a nasty bounce. And those are always so difficult to field, and he couldn't have placed this one any better. See, there's the bounce, and that's tough.
Devin Ream falls on it for the Monrovia Bulldogs. The senior it took a bounce off of one of his teammates, and he falls on it at the 39-yard line.
That's really not as much Cascade's fault per se as it is just a superb play by the Monrovia kicker. He couldn't have placed that any better. You wanted to take a nasty hop, and it did indeed do that, and that allowed kind of a jump ball, and then it becomes anybody's ball.
That just is so tough
That's
for
a
Cascade.
Backbreaker.
Monrovia gets it to begin the 3rd quarter when it looked like they were going to have to give it to Cascade, and they begin with Belcher, who's been the punishing runner for Monrovia most of this night, as he scampers ahead to the 33-yard line for a gain of 6, 2nd down and 4.
I just love the positive attack mode that Monrovia's in. They're just telling their kids, they're showing opponents, listen, we are going to be proactive at all times. We're going for it at times. We're going to onside kick. We're never going to stop attacking. I love that mentality.
Wagner's got Kostraszewski and Belcher behind him. This time gives to Kostraszewski, who slithers ahead to about the 31-yard line. Wrestled down from behind by Logan Gibbs. 3rd down and 2.
Here's a great shot right under center for Monrovia. And in the belly or wing, you see a lot of times, and keep an eye on this, John, you're going to see very close splits. Splits are the distance between you, like between the center and guard to tackle. And a lot of times in these running type offenses, you really get tight splits going. See how close that Monrovia is in their splits?
Wagner handing off. Belcher again. Belcher's got the 1st down. First guy there to greet him was Gibbs again.
And the reason you do that is you really try to close the gaps, because a lot of times defenses will try to emphasize shooting gaps. You'll hear that term a lot. And when your line splits are so close, it makes it really hard to kind of rush those gaps. And you can see, as you look, take a look at Cascade right there in your picture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at times 7 men in the box. So they're trying everything they can to find a gap, anything to get to this running game.
Wagner sending Skidoris in motion. And Wagner decides to keep. Wagner at the 20-yard line. Gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and short.
Wagner has been a big factor. He did a great job of just running this offense. He's thrown the ball very accurate at when he needs to run it. He's been very effective. And when you can get that type of production out of your quarterback, just a junior, will be back next year. He's running his ball club, making the right reads, the right calls, running the football, and you just can't ask much more from your quarterback than that.
He has 2 touchdown passes, and Monrovia has 2 rushing touchdowns to go along with those in this game. Kostraszewski goes in motion. Belcher the carry. Belcher. Push back, but they give him the 13. Gain of 7. Move the chains.
Well, in the red zone, it is so key. Which team's going to get off the ball first? It's going to be the offense, going to be defense. You're just not much real estate here left, and so offensively, man, if you can really get off the ball, it makes it so hard to stop your offense if your offensive line is getting off the football.
First guy there was Hunter Coates on that tackle for Cascade. Monrovia recovers an onside kick to begin the 3rd quarter, has a chance to go up 3 scores. Wagner to Kostraszewski on the pass. Kostraszewski going inside the 10, and they say he's down at the 5. A gain of 8, 2nd down and 2.
Well, when you're productive so much in the middle here, then that really kind of opens up those edges a little bit. See, you had 6-7 men in the box. Something's got to be open, so this time it's to the flats. But see, that play is set up 2 plays before, because once again, everybody's trying to pound in that box to stop this running game, and that allows something to be open.
8:23 to play, 3rd quarter. This is the 7th play of the drive for Monrovia. Wagner to Belcher. Belcher has the 1st down. I got to think of forward progress. At least he's going to have him there or very close.
They'll be really close. See where they spotted. He is literally right at the 1st down marker. Hard to tell from this area.
Okay, they did not give him a generous spot. They're spotting it
short.
About inches shy. So 3rd and about inches for Monrovia. Eli Wagner, the quarterback on your screen, number 11, went over to the sideline to get quick word with his head coach, Andy Olson.
7:42 left here in this 3rd period.
They've already used almost half the clock.
That's exactly what they wanted to do.
Wagner throwing on 3rd and short. Kostraszewski the catch, and he dives over the goal line. He gets in for the Monrovia touchdown.
Little second effort there, John. First thing he does I really like is make sure I catch the football. And take a look at him here. Very first thing you don't want to do is take off before you grab the ball here. And the little hesitation move right there, hangs on the ball with both hands. Textbook football right there.
Dustin Kostraszewski has rushed in a 4-yard touchdown run earlier in this game. Now he has a 4-yard touchdown reception, and up comes Emery Newland for the point after try.
John, you've seen a lot of football. You can tell when a team really starts to get comfortable in their offense. And Monrovia looks like that team right now. Just a team that's playing very comfortable in their offense.
Snap good, hold good, kick, wobbly, but he got it in. Monrovia recovers an onside kick to begin the 3rd quarter, and they go down and up their lead to 23 on the Cascade Cadets. 7:25 to play in the 3rd quarter on the ISC Sports Network.
High school football fans, welcome back to Friday nights, to pure spirits, to pure sports. Welcome back to high school football.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back!
This is Friday night. This is Indiana high school football. This is your IHSAA.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
And they try another onside kick, does Monrovia. They've already recovered one in this half. This time it doesn't work. And going over for Cascade to get it was Deegan Shearer. He was the one who fell on that ball in the end zone at the end of the first half. But that 8-play, 39-yard scoring drive, 4:31 off the clock for Monrovia right before the break. Dustin Kostraszewski catches a 4-yard touchdown reception from Eli Wagner. Set up by the onside kick, which was set up before that by the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, which gave Monrovia the chance to kick off from the midfield stripe after they committed a 5-yard penalty. This has been a very interesting game, especially for special teams. 1st and 10 for Cascade. It has been a long time since their offense has had the ball, and it is a pitch out to begin the drive to Liam Farmer, who has a 42-yard touchdown run in this game, but a flag is down. Cascade fans shouting some sarcastic comments to the referees. Didn't like the way they ended the half, ruling a safety against Cascade, but as we showed you on replay, looked like they made the right call.
Personal foul, Cascade.
Wow. I don't know if it was a...
Didn't see it. Not saying it didn't happen, I just didn't see it.
Maybe it was something that one of the players said. That can always do it, you never know. Tonight's game brought to you by Endeavor Communications. Tonight's game is being broadcast on the ISC Sports Network in partnership with Endeavor Communications. Send us a note on social media or give us a call to let us know.
Well, Cascade's just been that team at times in this ball game. They have shown that they can do some really, good things, and other times they have just did some things that have really hurt themselves. But I think it's a team that, can get better, but they just got to cut out these mistakes.
After the penalty, it's 1st and 25, and they back them up to their own 31-yard line. The handoff to Farmer. Monrovia trying to say he lost the football, but referees come in and say he was down. So,
well, and here's the problem with Cascade. You got 3rd and 20-some yards, and they just will not pass the football, and that's asking a lot to try to get something broke loose here in this running game. It's when you don't pass the ball at all, and you have to really put pressure on yourself, John, especially on 1st down. 1st and 2nd down, you got to get 3 to 4 yards to continually be successful and not have a passing game.
Okay, that's right. So on 1st down, they gave him the yardage, and then they penalized him after the down. So that's why it was 2nd and 25, not 1st and 25. Now it's 3rd and 22. Cascade appears to be a mess, and they are calling a timeout. Coach Connor Simmons wanting to have a quick word with them. So now this is a tough territory here, because you're 2-5. You've been in these kind of situations all throughout the season, Jan. This, by the way, this Cascade team has been hit hard by COVID at times, also some injuries too.
Well, I think the coach said in the notes you sent me, almost 15 players will not suit up tonight. That's a bunch. That's a lot to ask. I mean, that's the real bad news. The good news is there's a lot of people getting some experience, but you can't win with people who are in the process of learning. But you got to do what you got to do. But to have that many people out in a 2A game, it is a lot of people not dressing tonight.
6:15 left in the 3rd quarter. Don't forget, you can stay connected to ISC all season long by downloading the ISC app from all of your favorite app stores and watch all the games live or from the archives. The ISC Sports Network. Local lives here. 3rd down and 21 for Cascade. Farmer the carry. Farmer to the 40.
He's been a bright note tonight. I think when he has had a chance to run the football, he's been pretty effective. The problem is when you're that 3rd and 20, even a 7-8 yard, game that he got is just not near enough. But at times, he has run the ball very effective.
Now out comes Potters for the punt on 4th and 14. He averages about 41 yards a punt. Monrovia doesn't feel to be buying that he's punting it. They had a lot of guys up near the line of scrimmage, but he does let it fly. And it doesn't quite take the bounce Cascade once. They have to down it at the 37-yard line of Monrovia. So after all the chaos we've had tonight, lots of scores, we've had several turnovers on downs, but that's our first punt of the night. And it goes 23 yards, no return.
And I can tell you, John, I did the game, I think I told you last year, between these two ball clubs that eliminated Monrovia. And this Monrovia team, at least as of right now, has grown up immensely. Their confidence, how they're playing the game, has enhanced dramatically from the team that I saw last year.
Last year they were 3-8. And the year before that, 0-10. Now they're on the doorstep of possibly being 6-2.
Well, they're rated, what, number 12, I think we're seeing.
Yep, 1st and 10 from their own 37. The handoff to Belcher. Belcher loses a yard at the 36. Cascade does a good job on that one defensively. First of which to get over there, Wyatt Noren, who has been active on the Cascade defensive front.
5 minutes left in this third period. Went by pretty quick here.
Again, this game has gone pretty quick in a lot of ways because both teams love to run the football. Monrovia averaging over 200 yards a game on the ground. Cascade around 123.
But if you're Monrovia, you've been really balanced today.
Yes.
You've really kind of balanced out your offense. And boy, to be effective in the playoffs, that certainly is a plus.
And Eli Wagner with 3 touchdown passes through the air. Kostrasuski the carry. Kostrasuski turns the corner. Doesn't get a ton, but they will slither ahead to 39, pick up a 3.
Little speed option play. What Monrovia does here is get some pulling linemen and get some escort blocking, if you will, around that edge on that right side. And that's tough to defend. It's a numbers game. You try to get more offensive numbers than there are defensive, and just plow your way down.
Cascade's never led in this game. It was tied early on at 6 apiece. Both teams scored. Well, Monrovia on their opening drive and Cascade on a kickoff return, but neither team could get their extra point to go through. And after Monrovia scored after that, they've held the lead ever since. 3rd down and 8. Wagner down the middle of the field, pass caught, flag down.
This might be coming back.
And running free into the secondary, Corbin Burns, the tight end. He is tackled down around the goal line. But there are several flags on the field. The referees have a ton to figure out here.
Well, let's take a look here. The flag's way in front of him. I don't know if there was holding prior to him getting loose or not. And then that's a block in the back, I'm guessing, right there. There's another flag came there, so let's sort this one out.
But that is a great effort by Braden Potters for Cascade to come all the way down, not give up on that run, and tackle him shy of the end zone. These referees have been busy tonight.
The thing you can certainly say about Monrovia's offense, they have shown now they can really open up when they need to. Yeah, block in the back. 2 block in the backs.
Well, block in the back and pass interference.
Didn't see the pass interference.
He went like this.
Yeah, that's pushing. Yeah, that could be pass interference. Yeah, so he called offensive pass interference, then he called a block in the back.
I think the offensive pass interference illustrated how Burns got so wide open on that play. So, okay, then you're gonna have 3rd and long for Monrovia here. So a big chance if you're Cascade. 3:42 to go in the 3rd quarter. So they are declining the block in the back penalty, accepting the pass interference penalty, and that backs Monrovia up to their own 23-yard line. Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot of yardage. Sure is. 3:42 left in this 3rd period. That's a big-time penalty. Penalties, plural, against Monrovia.
After all that, it is 3rd and 24 on Monrovia.
Well, you mentioned a couple times, but the sectional drawing show coming up this weekend, it's one of the most exciting times for me all year. I love the pairing show. Bob Lovell does an excellent job with his analysis of it all, and then we get to start it here in a couple of weeks.
Wagner fires it deep. And it was well covered by Cascade that time. And I think Followell might be hurt here. The wide receiver for Monrovia, who was ridden out of bounds on that play. He's off the field though, so, and it looks like he might have a cramp. He's being tended to by the Monrovia training staff, so 4th and 24. Jeremy Kitchen will punt this one away, and he has it blocked. It's blocked, and Cascade falls on it and recovers for a touchdown.
That's the way to keep playing.
And it's Potters who recovers it in the end zone for the Cascade Cadets.
Good for Cascade. It was a bobbled snap. Monrovia really never had a solid shot, and let's give Cascade a lot of props here. They just really kept charging. See, fumbles it a couple times. And there is the nice block by Cascade, and that leads to another score. It's, you know what? You keep playing hard, and sometimes good things will happen.
Braden Potters blocks that punt, then recovers the ball and scores. Now it's still a 3-score game, but Cascade, if they go for 2, they'll make it 15 if they score. But again, they've had some issues in their kicking game tonight.
Only the 3rd time all year Cascade's had over 20 points. So this is big for them.
Now 2 of those scores tonight have come on special teams. A kickoff return and now a block punt. And he decides to keep it. Does Weigel, and Weigel gets in for the 2-point conversion. So Cascade is back within 2 scores.
They sure are.
With 3 minutes and 11 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. One more look at the Weigel 2-point conversion.
You know, you just never know. Second man through, and they get it in. That's what you got to keep doing. You have to, if you're going to have success at the high school level, you have to have the mentality that you're never going to give up. You play every down as hard as you can and make a play. Sometimes your offense is not going great. Sometimes your defense is not doing, but you just say, somebody make a play. In this case, Cascade makes a huge play, turns into a touchdown.
Now, you get the big play on special teams. How do you build on that for your next offensive drive? Because that's where things have stalled.
Well, it is. But now you hope that with the touchdown and the momentum that your defense carries over with that momentum and spark. That's going to be key, is to get another stop.
And if you're Monrovia, what do you think you need to be doing on this drive?
Monrovia, I think now what they've got to say, listen, guys, we've got to play a little better than that. We've made 3 or 4 mistakes. Something, quite honestly, they didn't do in that first half. They were pretty mistake-free, not only from penalties, but mistakes. And what you do not want to do when you're a good ball club is start making mistakes, because I've always found in ball games, mistakes start to breed mistakes sometimes.
Potters with the kickoff, and I think somebody from Cascade was offsides. Because as soon as he kicked that off at the 40, the referee on the Monrovia side of the field came in and threw a flag. Yep.
3:11 left in the 3rd period.
Ton of football left to play.
61 points in this game so far. That's a bunch.
That is a lot.
It's a bunch. Well, we expected nothing less. Both, every time I look back through the history of this rivalry, and it's last 3 or 4 years.
Weird things happening.
You just never know. That's why rivalry games are so much fun, is because you kind of throw out the record. You throw out all who's injured, who's not. You just suit up guys and say, guys, let's go play. Whoa, he got a foot into that one.
He really did. That might be his best one of the night. Kostraszewski
bring that one
bobbles
out.
it. Nope.
But see, that's what momentum does, John.
Yep.
Kicker kicks a little harder. Players run a little harder. Defense gets off the ball a little better. It's energized. When you score, it's energy for the offense and defense. So let's see, how Cascade now reacts defensively. And I think Monrovia's got to have a little bit of a wake-up call and get back into this the game that they had played so well up until this point.
So Monrovia starts from the 20.
Last thing you want to do is allow Mr. Momentum, who Monrovia's clearly had on their side the majority of this game, start to slip over to your opponent, especially at home, get the crowd into it. You never know. Big possession now from Monrovia.
Belcher and Kostrasuski are the D-backs. Belcher the carry. And does not get much.
No, he did.
To the 22-yard line. That is a gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. Devin Weigel and Liam Farmer in on the tackle for Cascade.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, you mentioned Farmer on offense, you mentioned him on defense. Isn't that amazing that those types of players are just so active on both sides of the ball?
At Class 2A, you're typically playing on both sides of the ball.
Oh, yes, you are.
And Belcher, they fake it to him. Kostrasuski gets the carry, and again, Cascade's defense reads it well. 2-yard gain, 3rd down and 6, and getting over there, Hunter Coates this time for Cascade.
And John, this is a really big possession now from Monrovia. If Cascade can hang on here defensively, get a stop, force Monrovia to punt 4 and out, how big is that? Let's see what happens, though.
One thing Monrovia has been doing very well all night has been using the clock and staying on the field a long time. If they can't move the chains here, it would only use about a couple minutes. Cascade fans, loudest they've been all night. Pitch, Kostrasuski gets a block, and he's short of the 1st down. Coates there on the tackle again, helped out by Shearer, but it's still going to be manageable enough that they may consider going for it. They put it at the Monrovia.
Look at the
29.
kick-out block right there. That's a good little kick-out block. Otherwise, this thing goes nowhere. And that
was Jet Massey.
It sure was.
Who's been big on both lines.
He has been everywhere, John.
Fourth and goal.
Oh, nice stop.
He's stuffed. He doesn't get it. He's stuffed, and the first guy that got there for Cascade was Logan Gibbs. They're all over it, and the Cadets are getting the ball back.
I'm telling you, Mr. Momentum is a funny thing. Hard to get, hard to keep. And once you lose it, it's kind of hard to get back. But take a look here. This is all about playing football right here. And Cascade, quite honestly, just stays home.
Yeah,
Farmer makes the initial stop, but I was trying to get that defensive lineman who really kind of clogged the hole and kind of stopped it all. He's not going to get credit for any tackle, but quite honestly, he was the reason that went nowhere.
1:41 left in the 3rd quarter, and Cascade gets it from the Monrovia
30-yard
line.
How about this?
Now Devin Weigel back out to lead his offense. And hands this one off to Mantu.
Oh, what a play.
Wrestled down,
horse collar.
Yep, a flag and a horse collar tackle coming up here on Alex Skidoris. He had the right idea, but this is an easy call.
It's unfortunate because Skidoris, take a look. This is a great look. Skidoris makes an unbelievable play right here. But and sometimes when you're going after that type of reach tackle, you're reaching for whatever you could get, and it just is just unlucky play on his part. He didn't do anything wrong, but that's the call is what it is. But man, he makes a phenomenal defensive effort to get to the guy, but just unfortunately for him, grabbed the wrong piece of equipment too high, and that's a penalty. Right call. That's part of the game. It's a safety call, and that's good for everybody. But wow, it's unfortunate for him that that's where his hand went.
So after that, and moves it up to the 18-yard line, half the distance to the goal. 1st and 10 for Cascade. 1:32 to play in the 3rd quarter. Timeout. Well, I don't know if it's a timeout, but we definitely have a whistle.
Boy, Cascade gets something in here, John, and we've got a brand new ball game almost just like that. This is huge. Let's see if Monrovia's defense can answer the bell. Cascade with all kinds of momentum.
Farmer. The 15.
Now look how much better Cascade's getting off the ball. Isn't it interesting how young people, when they get some momentum, they get some excitement, how they perform just a little bit better? Same people, just a little more energy.
Jet Massey and Austin Leeds combined for the Monrovia tackle. 2nd down and 7.
Big down. 2nd longs. Big down for Cascade. Not throwing the football. They need to get a good 5-yard play here.
And time is winding down.
Well, they're in 4-down territory, so they.
Here is Weigel handing it off to Farmer. Farmer hurdles over one defender, and
he gets a good 4.
Yep, got to the 11 for that gain of 4 that you mentioned, and it's 3rd down and about 3.
All right, you got 2 downs now, John, to get a 5-yard, 4.5, something in that range. If you're Cascade, you need 2 to 3 yards per play here. This is all about getting off the ball here is what this is.
So taking a while. 20 seconds left in the 3rd. Not a whole lot of time left.
Let's see, it's 15 seconds left in the period.
And Weigel decides to keep it.
Not much.
And only got to about the 10 for a gain of a yard. That makes it 4th down and 2.
That'll do it.
That will be an incredibly important play to bring you to start the 4th quarter. When we come back, Monrovia by 15 on the ISC Sports Network.
Sports medicine at Hendricks is all about providing level of care that's unmatched.
We've made our team deeper with surgical specialties.
We have the best physical therapy staff in the state.
We work very closely with the orthopedic specialist, and it really makes the treatment plan more seamless.
In an environment that's small enough to meet your needs, but also large enough to have the tools to take great care of you.
This is Hendricks.
Find care at hendricks.org/ortho.
At Defining Looks on Sagamore Parkway North in Lafayette, talk to a specialist and discuss your specific needs for wigs or toppers. Defining Looks is committed to helping anyone experiencing hair loss to lead a normal lifestyle. Our wigs are of the highest quality, allowing us to customize to your personal style. Shop our large selection for your medical, cosmetic, or fashion needs. Confident, bold, and fashionable. Be your own kind of beautiful at Defining Looks. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram.
4th and 2 to begin the 4th quarter for Cascade. They are at the Monrovia 11-yard line. Along with Jan Bozer, I'm John Herrick on the ISC Sports Network. What do you think Cascade does here, Jan?
I'm going to say they're obviously going to run, but they've got to set it up. They're a team that has to kind of grind it out. But what I really like is during that 4th period intermission, man, their coaches were just in everybody's face.
Hand off to Farmer. Farmer gets to the edge, and Farmer shoved out. The pylon is knocked over, and he scores! Farmer gets into the end zone for the Cascade Cadets.
Mr. Moe has found his home back here at Cascade. All you have to do is touch the pylon, and that's exactly what he does. And he's got that speed to get there, John. Nice call on Cascade's part. Here you go. You got speed. Get to the pylon.
That is the 2nd touchdown run tonight for Liam Farmer. One from 42 yards out, this one from 11 yards away. And it happens on 4th and 2.
How about that? And I tell you, I'm going to give this coaching staff for Cascade, even in the second half when they were still down quite a bit, their whole coaching staff never stopped coaching hard. You see the emotion of the disappointment going into halftime, and they have coached their hearts out. Give them so much credit to pushing this emotion and energy back to their team, and they've taken off here, John.
Weigel on the 2-point conversion try. Handoff, Farmer ahead he goes! And he's in. Farmer gets the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Cascade is back within 7. Just moments ago, it was 38-13 Monrovia, and now Cascade is back within a touchdown.
Tight line splits. This is all about it. We've talked about it multiple times tonight. Tight line splits, getting off the football. You only need 3 or 4 yards. You charge, you get it. They did, and Cascade's got momentum. They're back within a score. Wow, Monrovia now has got to kind of regroup now. A position they really haven't been in this ball game. Now they find themselves with Cascade with all the momentum.
There's the confident Liam Farmer talking to his offensive coordinator on the headset.
That young man's played a well of a ball game tonight.
Yes, he has. The junior running back for the Cadets has been fantastic. Tonight's broadcast brought to you in part by Defining Looks Wig Hair and Nail Salon, where they can assist you with a wig for your hair loss needs due to COVID-19 or any medical conditions such as cancer or age-related thinning hair. They're also certified in toppers, wigs for kids and children with hair loss. Find them at defininglooks.com or on Facebook and Instagram.
Well, I tell you, the onus now is clearly on Monrovia. They have not had much offense here in this second half. An offense that has been so productive all game long now has kind of got to regroup.
They've been outscored 18-7 in this half. The deep onside from Cascade from Braden Potters does not work out as it rolls out of bounds, giving Monrovia outstanding field position. They get it from the 35.
Now, John, how big is this position offensively for the Bulldogs? Cascade gets a stop here. Wow. If you're Monrovia, the thing you want now is to put together one of those long drives and cap it off with a score. But they've got to find some energy and momentum because they kind of have lost it, quite honestly.
It is amazing how high school football games and college football games take on this sort of persona when it's a rivalry game. And here we are in the Battle of I-70. Cascade beat Monrovia in the sectional round to eliminate them from the postseason last year. Now they're 2-5, but they're giving the 5-2, 12th ranked Monrovia Bulldogs a battle here at Memorial Stadium. Handoff to Belcher. Belcher from the 35 gets ahead, but only 2 yards. So Cascade appears to have made a lot of adjustments to limit this Monrovia ground game, 2nd and 8.
Well, they're just playing energy with defense. Defense is so much about quickness and energy, getting off the football and reading. Same people out there. Look how much different, how much harder they're playing all of a sudden. Monrovia now 2nd long. Here we go, John.
And the energy in this contest from the Cadet fans is electric. Wagner throws it out to Kostraszewski. Big catch and run. Pushed out at the 43-yard line. That is a gain of 6 yards.
That's a good call again. Monrovia has used that play after Cascade continues to put 6-7 men in the box to kind of stretch it out here a little bit. Now maybe the play of the game, quite honestly. 3rd and about 4, John. The last thing Monrovia wants to do is have to punt this thing away. This is big down.
He was shoved out by Logan Gibbs. 3rd and 3 for Monrovia.
11:08 left in this ball game.
A lot of time. Handoff. He goes nowhere.
No,
they
absolutely
tried to
nowhere.
Get Alex Skidoris with his first carry in the 2nd half, and he gets blasted by Walker Van Ness along with Hunter Coates. Now it is 4th down and about 5 from the 40.
Take a look here. This is just Cascade playing him very aggressive defense. This is what I call, again, a long developing play. It gives, quite honestly, your defense a little more time to read and pursuit.
Look at Cascade coach Connor Simmons.
I love it. I love it. He has never stopped battling. He literally has got his team right back in this.
They are going for it on 4th and 5.
Play of the game, quite honestly, right now.
Wagner stepping up and firing down the field over the head of Followell, incomplete.
Nope.
And there is a flag down.
This looks, where's the flag?
It's around midfield.
Yeah, that's closer to holding. There it is. The proverbial.
But holding on Cascade.
Cascade. Wow, that'll be interesting to see this. So this happened literally at the line of scrimmage, and
yeah, the Cascade fans already upset.
That's an automatic first down.
Yep, it is. What a huge call in the game, and it moves it to the 50-yard line as they were on the 40. Fresh set of downs for Monrovia. Huge call.
Yeah, still plenty of time for both ball clubs here. Anything's still possible.
10-14 left in the 4th quarter. There's Belcher. Belcher trying to silence this Cascade crowd. He gets to the 48-yard line where he's decked by Farmer as well as Coates.
Monrovia's not going to be in any hurry at all. They'll probably play deep into the play clock here while you got the ball.
They've already had it for about 2 minutes. 2nd down and 9 after that carry. It's Belcher and Kostraszewski, as well as Skidoris, the main backs, and Belcher gets the carry. Nice run by Belcher to the 44-yard line. gaining about 5 before he is wrestled down by Jacob Potts. And that makes it 3rd down and 4.
I'm quite honestly a little surprised that Monrovia, John, didn't open it up a little bit. The way Cascade continues just to put so many men in the box. Boy, I love that mismatch with the tall guy, and they really haven't went to him here much in the second half.
This feels like a play to Kostrasuski for me for some reason. But no, they go back to Belcher.
He's going to be short.
He did not get it. He got to about the 41-yard line. It's 4th and a yard. Well, if they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Now's the time. Now you would go for it.
Yeah, they've been going for it on 4th down on their own side of the field. There's no way they're not going for it on the Cascade side of the field.
8:41 left in this ball game. This could be a defining play for the Bulldogs of Monrovia if they can get a first down here. Still tons of time, but boy, they can sure eat a lot of clock, John.
Whistle.
Timeout.
Cascade.
Yep.
Cascade using their 2nd timeout of the half. So now they are down to just 1 remaining with 8:30 to play in the 4th quarter. Wow.
They're going to talk this one over. This is you use the word big play a lot in football games, and at times when you're building on a game and you're announcing it, it develops, and this one has really developed in the analogies of, well, this is a big play because there's so much riding on the play with 8:30 left in this ball game. If you're Monrovia, John, you get a first down, it's going to be tough. If you're Cascade and you get a stop here, you got tons of time.
What kind of play do you think Monrovia is going to come up with here on 4th and 1?
Well, they're going to go to their bread and butter. I just can't imagine they're not going to try to find the edge here. I would be a little surprised now. I would have thought earlier they would have tried that mismatch on that pass play, but I think they're just going to do their bread and butter, try to outnumber the defense on an edge play, get some lead blocks. You don't need a lot, but I would not do a long developing play. At times you see teams do that, and I'm sure there are good reasons, but I quite honestly right here, John, like the quick hitters. You know, you might even see a quarterback sneak, but anything that's quick, you only need a yard. Get the big guys off the ball quick, and it's almost very difficult, not impossible, but difficult to stop.
8:30 to play in the game.
There's
4th and 1,
there
and
it is.
Wagner just with the quarterback sneak, and he goes
call.
right ahead and gets it.
See the difference? That's a quick hitter. No read, no long developing, and he's a big guy. So when you see this a lot, John, when you got the big-time, bigger quarterback, good size, strength, you got a really veteran center, everybody just get off the ball, let the big guy, and he got more than enough, and it's a quick hitting play. I like the call.
Needed 1, and he got 5. Again, if you're just joining us, Monrovia led 38-13, but Cascade blocked a punt, recovered a touchdown. They also then forced a defensive stop, got the ball back, went down and scored again. And a whistle. Well, there was time left on the play clock, so it wasn't delay a game.
I'm for sure the center might have moved the football, or somebody lined up all sides. He threw it right at the center. They're calling all sides, false start.
False start, yep.
Yeah, I think that's the center picking the ball up. I could be wrong, but he was looking right at the center. You can rotate the ball, but you can't pick it up.
Now it's 1st and 15, back them up to the 40. They were just there before that run by Eli Wagner, their quarterback. This next play will be the 8th play of the drive for Monrovia. They got it from their own 35 with 11:54 to play in the contest, and they have had it for nearly 4 minutes.
Well, I might be thinking pass if I'm Monrovia here. They've had some great mismatches and good separation time. This might be, on first down, a good time to try a surprise-type pass play.
Wagner, handoff to, he faked it and kept it himself. Out to the 34-yard line.
They're just not going to take a chance here. Really, they feel very comfortable, and rightfully so, in their running game.
Gain 6, 2nd down and 9.
They're trying to just make sure they don't make mistakes here. He faked in the line and kept it. He really did a great job of running the football today.
Jacob Potts comes over to make the Cascade tackle. 7:30 to play in the 4th quarter. Cascade student section trying to rally as Monrovia approaches field goal range. Belcher the carry. Belcher doesn't go anywhere. Got, well, a yard Good tackle there made by Cascade's Wyatt Noren, the sophomore linebacker.
You know,
3rd down and 8.
And once again, there have been times when I've seen this Cascade defense really play some good, solid defense. And the more they can be consistent on this defensive side, the better off they're going to be as a ball club. There are times when they have played very well defensively. That's one of those times.
If Cascade wins tonight, they will have as many wins this season as they did last season. If Monrovia wins, they will get their 6th win of the season and go to 6-2. Big battle here in this rivalry contest. 3rd and 8. Belcher the carry. Belcher doesn't get the first down, but at least he sets them up for a 4th down and manageable to the 28-yard line. That is a gain of 5, makes it 4th and 3.
This is a little more challenging in 4th and 3 than the 4th and 1 is. Well, I still think you think quarterback right up the middle. They being Cascade have kind of struggled to stop that play. You got the veteran center, the big quarterback, and once again, if the Bulldogs can get off the football here and get a surge, that's 3 or 4 yards they could get almost automatic.
On 4th and 3, Belcher the carry. And it looks like he's got it on the second effort. Belcher just did not give up.
And the coaching staff for Cascade goes, listen.
Oh, and a flag comes in at the end.
Yeah, that's too bad. Can't do that. This is emotional, but you stop on the whistle, guys. Come on now. Don't let a really good game get out of hand here by those silly flags that you're going to, and rightfully get. Take a look here. As they get a first initial stop right here, but because they don't bring him to the ground, he's still on his feet. And that give Monrovia a lot of credit here. That's what you tell your young people to do. Pump your legs and you do not stop until you go down. Personal foul.
Against Monrovia.
Wow, that's a silly mistake. Silly mistake.
Yeah, again, like I said, couldn't quite tell who it was. It might have been some jawing after the play was over.
That's what you cannot do, especially right now. You're in the midst of a battle. Cooler heads got to prevail. I get it, but
yeah. But here's the thing: they got the first down, so the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty happened.
March it back.
Yeah, happened after they got the first down.
It's a dead ball foul. The first down was made, but now you're going to mark it back 15 or 10.
But the bad thing about that for Cascade, though, is that they still got the first, which means Monrovia can use more clock. They have already used more than 6 minutes of the clock here on this drive, and we're down to 5:42 left in the game. So that penalty moves them back to the 38-yard line of Cascade, and that makes it first down and 25.
Yeah, the time's a problem now for Cascade. The real estate certainly is a good thing, but now clock is slowly becoming Cascade's enemy. They got to make a play. Monrovia has to take care of the football.
So here's the handoff.
Yeah, I like the quick hitters. Right now, I'm quick hitting, especially as mature of offense as Monrovia has. I'm quick hitting everything. Just power left, power right, get off your blocks, base football, all the work in the weight room over the summer and everything. This is where it pays off. Man to man, who can beat who?
The 35-yard line, gaining 3.
Clock now down to 5:08.
Second down. Hand off to Kostrasuski. Kostrasuski shy of the 30. Another flag, and 2 flags end up coming in.
I'm not happy if I'm a coach right now. I really am not. If this is people just moving their jaws.
That's personal foul against Monrovia.
Or a late hit. Just that silly stuff. Monrovia cannot be happy about this. This is where the word discipline comes in.
And also, this comes after that run on second down. So it looked like it was Massey who got charged with that penalty. And that backs it up, and now it's third down and forever. You back it up to the 46-yard line.
Let me tell you something, a mistake with the ball, and this would come back to haunt Monrovia in a heartbeat.
After all of that, it is 3rd down and 17. But here's the thing, clock is winding, 4:45 to play in the 4th quarter. Cascade only has one timeout.
Put your jaws and your energy in moving the football. You know, use it as a productive mechanism, not the other way around.
Wagner trying to get that lost yardage back. Wagner fires it down the sideline, might have Followell. Followell makes the catch as he comes back to the ball and falls down at the 15-yard line for a huge gain of 31 yards.
Yeah, the big key is here is he knew where the ball was at and literally comes back for it because the ball was well underthrown and only he really sees it. Came back for it right between the zone. Makes a really nice play, quite honestly.
Followell started off the game with a 47-yard touchdown reception. He also has a 31-yard touchdown reception and probably just made the biggest play of the game for Monrovia right there, setting up a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 from the 16 for Cascade, for Monrovia at the Cascade 16. The handoff to Kostrasuski this time to the 13-yard line. Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. Cascade's defense has got to be gassed. Got to be so exhausted.
They've been on the field. That's a good point, John. They've been on the field here for a long time. They really have. And as you mentioned, a lot of these players go both ways, but the defense is a little different than offense.
When you think about the long drives Monrovia has had tonight, 5 minutes in the 1st quarter, a 2-minute drive, a 2-minute drive, a nearly 5-minute drive, and now they've had this one for over 8 minutes. 2nd down and 7. Wagner.
And somehow, John, have overcome the huge penalties that they incurred.
And he only got to about the 11. Gain of 2, 3rd down and 5. But again, the bigger problem is the clock. If you're Cascade, you're now inside 3 minutes to play. And you got to basically, you got to stop them 2 more times. But then here's the thing, if you're Monrovia, if you don't get it on 3rd down, you can kick the field goal and go up by 10. But again, both teams have had shaky special teams play in this game. Monrovia is content to let this clock wind down. 5 on the play clock, now 3. And the timeout called here by head coach Andy Olson. That leaves Monrovia with 2 timeouts to play in this incredibly fun Battle of I-70 contest. Back in a moment on the ISC Sports Network.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Irritated by your internet provider? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eForce high-speed internet. Download speed? No problem. Download an HD movie in seconds with our remarkable gigabit speed. Endeavor not only provides the latest fiber optic technology, we're also here to help you use it. We also provide television, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Big 3rd and 5 here coming up from Monrovia. 2 minutes, 35 seconds to play in the game. Monrovia has had the ball the entire 4th quarter, trying to seal this game off. But the 2 and 5 Cascade Cadets, given the 12th ranked team in Class 2A, all they can handle. Belcher the carry. He gets to the outside and Belcher walks in for an easy Monrovia touchdown to make it a 13-point game with just under 2.5 to play.
Well, what happens here is Monrovia's offense just wore Cascade down. You mentioned multiple times. This defense has been out here forever. And in spite of some of the big penalties they got, they just stayed with it to their credit and just kind of wore them down and finally made the plays that you need to make.
So Belcher scored from 3 yards out earlier in this game. Now he scores from 11 yards out. The extra point would make it a 14-point game. the way they've struggled tonight. They've had a couple of PATs blocked. They may just be trying to go for two. And yep, Eli Wagner, the quarterback and company, staying out on the field to go for two.
Well, this will be the second largest scoring output. He scored Edgewood 48.
And he tries to throw, has Leeds wide open, and Leeds makes a leaping grab for the two-point conversion, 46-31 Monrovia.
And John, there's that mismatch play I've been talking about. I'm just a little surprised they haven't went to it just a little bit more. That's just such a problem play because of his height and length to guard him one-on-one.
2 minutes, 29 seconds left in the game. Cascade will get the ball back. Now, I know that ordinarily this would not seem like a question that you would ask in a typical football game, but this game has been anything but typical, especially on special teams. If you're Monrovia, do you consider trying an onside kick here to try to recover it and then get out of here, or do you just kick it deep? And I think another flag just down. Monrovia is going to get penalized again.
Well, that's just being.
So I think somebody said something to one of the officials.
Well, here's the deal. The officials, and rightfully so, once you've had enough, I've never officiated football. I officiated basketball for a long time. And once as official, you've had enough, And so they're just, and you better hope this officiating crew doesn't have you down the road sometime, because they're not going to tolerate much. It's just not necessary. You got to lead. Now it's just time to zip it. There's no need for it.
Monrovia student section starting a "we can't hear you" chant, and there the official just said personal foul against Monrovia. So instead of kicking it off at the 40, you're now kicking it off at the 25.
You're not going to kick onside now. I doubt they would anyway with the lead. You just want to kick it back and let your defense finish it out.
And unfortunately, what works against Cascade here, they have not attempted a pass all night. And again, they're not a passing team, as we've talked about a lot. So now how are they going to get down the field quickly and score twice with only 2:29 left? That is the challenge that they will have to face. As Emory Newland kicks this one away.
Little pooch kick.
They're going to get great field position out of it.
Yeah, just trying to kick it where there is no return. So that's a pretty safe kickoff for Monrovia. So 2:28 left in this one, John.
Jackson Mantooth just falls on it, so Cascade gets it 1st and 10 from their own 47. So how about that drive there by Monrovia? They had it for 16 plays.
That's pretty impressive, just the fact you were able to eat the clock the way they did.
65 yards on the scoring drive, and then 9 minutes, 24 seconds. Now Cascade facing an uphill battle again, as they have all night. Nothing doing. 2nd and long. Tried to go to Farmer. Farmer was swallowed up. The first man that got him for Monrovia, Corbin Burns, as well as Massey.
That's been a fun game, John. I mean, all in all, it's been pretty exciting. A lot of different plays, a lot of emotion, everything you would expect in a rivalry. They did not disappoint in the overall game, for sure.
Going to name our player of the game in the post-game show. Also tell you our play of the game. And now he's back to pass. Weigel, incomplete. Good coverage down the field by Monrovia's Hunter Baker.
For a guy who doesn't throw much, he threw that ball pretty well. He overthrew his receiver, but when you don't throw it much in a game, it's kind of hard to just flip a switch and, pinpoint and pass.
3rd and 10. We're now down to 1:46 on the clock.
Clock stopped, the incomplete pass. Certainly showed us he had an arm, though. It's the arm strength.
But what a run by Cascade to get back within 7.
Yeah.
And yet, if you're Monrovia, they needed to respond, and respond they did with probably one of the best football drives I've seen all year at any level. Weigel trying to wiggle free and cannot. Tackled at the 48-yard line for a gain of 1, 4th and 9. I think we're going to see Cascade use their last time out here. Yep, we are. 4th and 9 for the Cadets. They're out of timeouts, and we're down to 1:36 left in the contest. And this has been a fantastic game. Gee, far cry from the 6-0 game that we had in the sectional play last year.
Yeah, it really is. It's a complete different type of game, too. Both teams pretty young last year, just a massive rainstorm. So it was difficult at any level to do anything. It was one of those games where if you could make a play, you were going to win, and that's and Cascade was able to make the play. I remember it specifically, running it all the way in. But you know, one thing's for sure, and you see it through the history, when these two ball clubs get together, we know it's going to be exciting for sure.
Coach Andy Olson telling me from Monrovia earlier this week, we wanted these kids to see their worth, help build their confidence. He said the talent is there. They just needed to see that they have what it takes. And they continue to prove this season that they do have what it takes. But the Cadets of Cascade have certainly done that as well. And they've battled through injuries and COVID and all kinds of issues. They really fight hard here tonight, and back he goes. Weigel gets slammed down for a big sack, and that's the exclamation point there for Birds. Nice coverage by him. He comes running up the gut, takes him down.
Well, Monrovia really has on a blitz package here. They're sending everybody in the kitchen sink because they know that Monrovia or Cascade really has no option but to try to do something long here.
And because of their running offense, that's the first time that Monrovia has been able to get a sack on defense. Leads to a turnover on downs. So if Monrovia wants, all they got to do is take a couple of knees, and this game is over. They're lining up in the victory formation. Probably have to take
a couple of them.
Just a couple of them. We'll see.
Monrovia is going to, I think you talked about it, go to 6-2 on the season. That's a huge improvement from what they were able to accomplish last year. They have expectations of doing some special things, John, in postseason.
By the way, Emery Newland, the Monrovia kicker, is actually that's a girl. I said he. That's a female kicker for Monrovia, which is there's a lot of that happening. A lot of girls are playing kicker position in high school football. So great to see that. Good for Emery, of course, getting to have a very difficult task in front of her with what was a bizarre special teams game for both teams, but for both Monrovia and Cascade. But it was an interesting contest for sure. And Monrovia, all they have to do at this point is take one more kneel down. And that is exactly what they do. Wagner takes the knee, and the Monrovia Bulldogs win the Battle of I-70 over the Cascade Cadets, 46-31, as they go down to grab the Battle of I-70 sign at Memorial Stadium. It wasn't easy, and it wasn't always pretty, but the Monrovia Bulldogs get it done, and they improve to 6-2 on the season. And Cascade, with a hard-fought battle, they drop to 2-6. Our post-game show coming up when we come back on the ISC Sports Network.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
The gratitude that we have for everyone here at Hendricks Regional Health, it's bigger than a thank you.
We have been recognized by Health Grades for 14 years in a row for patient experience. There's only 7 other organizations in the country who have that track record.
You treat everyone like they're your neighbor, friend, family.
That's the most important thing to Hendricks.
14 different hospital staff members came in to meet our baby. That's how much these people cared.
Find care now at thisishendrix.org.
The Battle of I-70 goes to the Monrovia Bulldogs as they knock off the Cascade Cadets 46-31 as we welcome you back into our post-game show. And tonight's broadcast put on by Endeavor Communications. Big thanks to them. Also, so many different guys you could go to, Jan, for the Hendricks Regional Health Player of the Game. So many different guys there, but I think we got to go with Brayton Belcher here for the Monrovia Bulldogs. He gets a couple of rushing touchdowns, and every single time that Monrovia needed a big play, they went to him, and he gets the 11-yard touchdown run to seal the win for the Monrovia Bulldogs. What a job he did tonight.
Yeah, it was a solid performance, and you're right. Every time they felt they needed something, he was always able to deliver, and I think you absolutely make a great call here as naming him.
And here was that last touchdown run that he had to scamper into the end zone. This is what made it 44-31. They would go on and get the 2-point conversion to make it 46-31, and Monrovia ends up winning the game by 15 in what was a hard-fought contest. Cascade was down 38-13. They block a punt. They recover it in the end zone. They also had a kickoff return for a touchdown, and they really fought hard despite they having tons of injuries and a relatively young head coach who's really fired up. And as you can tell, there is the head coach for them, Connor Simmons, who has now dropped to 5-14 in his second year at Cascade. And our player of the game brought to you by Hendricks Regional Health. Great sports medicine care starts with collaboration. No matter what injury you're facing, the expert team at Hendricks Regional Health works together to get you back doing what you love. Find the care you need at hendricks.org/ortho. And the play of the game was something that happened late in the first half, Jan, where Cascade gets the big safety right there from Liam Farmer, but he loses the ball after having possession of it, and Cascade recovers it in the end zone, and they get touched down in the end zone after recovering it, and that was a safety. And after all that confusion, I think we have to give a ton of credit, Jan, to the officials in this game, because there was a lot of chaos happening on this play, and they got it right.
Well, what the officials do here is exactly what you want to do in any sport. If there's any question, they huddled up, they got everybody's look from different positions on how they seen it, and they collectively talked about the rule, and the key was, did he have possession? They all agreed that he did, and in my opinion, they absolutely got it right. They handled it correctly, and they got the call correct.
And tough way to finish it for Cascade, but they fought extremely hard. There was that onside kick, too, that Monrovia recovered to begin the third quarter. They went down and scored on that as well. That was a huge moment in the game, too. Monrovia improves to 6-2. They close out their regular season against Cecina next week. Cascade will be back home, and they will be playing Ritter, who is atop the Indiana Crossroads Conference. A huge thank you to all of the great folks who did a phenomenal job tonight on our crew on the ISC Sports Network. Our director, Jake Morris, our replay man, Sam Waugh, our graphics coordinator, Jake Fresky, and our camera operators, Aaron Siders, Becca Kelly, and Eric Connect. And a big thanks to our director, Jake Morris, for all the great work he did tonight. For my broadcast partner, Jan Bozer, I'm John Herrick saying so long from Memorial Stadium at Cascade High School, where your final score for the final time, the Monrovia Bulldogs 46, the Cascade Cadets 31. You've been watching high school football on the ISC Sports Network.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on ISC Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not going to happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, so many places to watch Query and Schultz.